Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us this evening as we play Brindlewood Bay and raise funds for Project Hope, an incredible international organization that raises funds for humanitarian aid, that focuses on disaster and health crisis relief, infectious diseases. Maternal, neonatal, and child health, health policy, and so much more. If you are able to, whether you are in our Twitch chat or our YouTube chat, please visit the link in our pinned chat message. That's going to take you to Tiltify, where every dollar donated goes straight to Project Hope. While you're there, you're going to see a couple really fun things. The first being some incentives on how you can directly interact with the game that we're going to be playing this evening. For a donation of $10 or more, you can gift a reroll to any of our grandmas on screen. We'll get more into that later. For a donation of $15 or more, you can make us do a small cutaway to the murderer's point of view that Ryan will be taking care of for us. For a donation of $25 or more, you can give an auto crit or an auto success to any of our grandmas. For a $35 donation or more, you can make a random flashback scene happen with any of the players on screen. We'll roll a die for it. For $50 or more, you can give a MacGuffin, which is one of the grannies will find a useful item that is also a clue in our murder investigation. And finally, for $100 or more, you can pick two people to have a flashback scene based on a suggestion of your choosing. So, a lot of really fun ways that you can help shape this game that we're going to be playing. And while you're there, you might also notice that the first $250 is being matched this evening. And I just want to give a big thank you and shout out to Bogus Cheesecake, who is sponsoring that matching gift. They are an Alaskan based ttrpg company that makes unique content and systems, and you should definitely check them out. Anyways, friends, my name is Jess. My pronouns are they, them, theirs, and I am so excited to be playing this game with these lovely humans on screen. I'm going to go ahead and pass the microphone over to John John.
Oh, hello. I am John John. I use they and any pronouns. What else do I need to introduce myself with, Jess? Is that it? I'm a grandma, and I pass to I'm pass to Craig.
Oh, hey, hi, I'm Craig. You may know me as Craig of Inspiration all over the place. And I'm also playing a grandma, he, him pronouns. I'm so happy to be here. Pass it to Jaden.
Oh, hey, it's Jaden King. I'm also it's Jaden King, and I'm excited to be with these delightful, wonderful people. And let's get old, but not old in that way. Yay! We'll end up passing it over to Dylan.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm Dylan H. Ford. I'm playing Maud, and we're all old ladies, and this is going to be a grand old time. And that's me. And I'll pass it off to anyone else.
I think I'm the only one that has a comment. I'm Ryan. I go by Run DMG online. I do all sorts of TikToks, Instagrams, funny bits and bops about Dungeons and Dragons, and kind of getting into Magic the Gathering because I love expensive hobbies. Next will be Warhammer 40k as I drown in debt. But I will be your granny master for the evening, and as we play Brindlewood Bay, and I'm very excited. Every time I get to show this to new people, and they get to just become the granny that they've always wanted to become. I think it's a beautiful moment when everybody kind of like gets to just gets there, like gets it. It's a ton of fun, this game. I hand it back to Jess.
That is very funny because I have nothing left to say, y'all. Make sure you donate to help these grandmas that we're going to be playing solve this mystery murder as it unfolds in front of our eyes. Back to you, Ryan.
Back to me already? All right. So, our story, and just so everybody, like, we're getting on the same page, this is very much 80s television. Think Golden Girls. A lot of Golden novels. Murder, She Wrote. A lot of Murder, She Wrote. A lot of that time. So think just slightly grainy. The storylines mostly there, maybe a little kitschy. We're like mid-season and like a later season, so things are like well established. Everybody knows each other. Maybe we haven't quite jumped the shark yet, but like it's there. It's like the next episode maybe. Um, our murder mavens find themselves on a very normal Tuesday evening, and what they always do every single Tuesday evening, which is meeting up for their weekly Murder Mavens Mystery Book Club, where they discuss their favorite bits from their favorite authors' murder books, or not murder books, but murder mystery books. It's not books about, how to murder, but what happens in them. The Delacourt series. Y'all are mid-spin. The meeting is well underway. You are in the topmost floor of the Candlelight Bookstore in Brindlewood Bay. Brindlewood Bay is an idyllic Massachusetts like bay town. It's sleepy, it's beautiful, a lot of like local artists. They have a lot of like Keep Brindlewood Bay weird stickers everywhere. And unsurprisingly, it's a bit of a retirement community as well for those that, a little bit on the well-to-do side, a little bit on the maybe, groovy side. The Republicans might go to Boca, the Democrats kind of go to Brindlewood Bay, that sort of thing. That being said, this is your space. Like this, you've taken over this space. It has been yours for as long as you can remember, ever since you all moved up here and started this book club. So I'd like to kind of go around the table as it is, and I'd like you to describe your granny, give a little visual description, or maybe a little vibe description, and then I would like each one of you to give one piece of what's in this room, and then we'll kind of like tie it together at the end. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, yeah.
Hello, I'm Maud, and I used to be a photojournalist for a small magazine company. And I have with me, as always, my very large telephoto camera lens, and my camera, which is an old Pentax. And I'll pass it off to Gertrude.
Oh wait, before we pass it off,
Oh,
what is, like, to paint the scene, what is one piece of this space, this kind of like upper meeting space in Candlelight Books, that either you had a part of or your group has had a part of? So like you're kind of painting this place, and we'll do this for every place we go to, and it can be connected to a personal story, or it can be just something that's kind of interesting.
I think that we're sitting in these lovely, like, leather upholstered chairs.
Okay.
These very luxurious leather upholstered chairs.
All right, cool. Yeah. Maybe one of the murder mavens paid a little extra scratch to have these like brought in, because you just hear all the time reading these books, and it makes it a little more cool, a little more comfortable. Who are you gonna popcorn it to?
I'll popcorn it to Rudy.
Now that. Well, I'm Gertrude Fitzgibbons, and I am dressed to the nines as I always do, in the most elegant silk I can find to dress and adorn myself, because every day is a fashion show when you are looking like me, elegantly dressed, hair in a very short cut updo, and jewelry along the ears, a beautiful chain that I decorate, and multiple rings, some of which that I have memories of when I won my younger pageant days, because they still fit. I believe that Ruby would have ensured that the group installed studio style lights in this space for whenever we need to get good photo, good lighting, and good moments. They've got the full overhead lights with a little lighting system over there. I believe that one of my grandchildren helped us get it set up, because I couldn't lift it myself.
Yes, 100%. You fully told your grandchild, like you set this up. They thought like, oh, there must be doing like a podcast or like a streaming thing. So you got like the full streaming mic. There's like mics set up, but that you have no idea how to use. There's like a really nice streaming rig in the corner, and there's all these like really nice lights that make reading a dream. But it is like a little getting used to seeing this like made up space that's very like like very tech heavy in this like kind of sleepy, dreamy bookstore.
And then I will pass it over to Opal.
Oh, hello, dearie. I'm Opal. I am got my favorite cardigan on, cozy in our deep and cozy in our leather chairs, and with a big opal necklace, and I brought some cookies. I made cookies with the caramels that every grandma has. I put them in the cookies.
Werther's Originals.
Yes.
They could be used as like bulletproof armor. They are so like maybe they're still good, but like those Werthers really created a sheen of like, teeth cracking potential.
And who hasn't gone, I'll pass it over to Large Marge.
Thanks for the pass. I really appreciate it. Hey everybody, I'm Large Marge. Here you can see me smoking my Ziggy cigarette. In head to toe, I'm got my Ziggy paraphernalia on because I got a lifetime supply. The cigarette brand loves me. Anyway, you can see that I have this little cat carrier with little Margie in it because I take little Margie everywhere. That's little Margie the cat. I'm Big Marge, Large Marge. You get the picture. Anyway, I'm just a regular old gal who used to be an aerobics instructor way back when. And who doesn't love somebody who smokes cigarettes and looks like this? Am I right, fellas? Anyway, the thing that I can see in this room is our glamour shots that I'm having everybody sign in case we need to send them out to fans. It's a beautiful photo with us all sitting on a park bench together. And I will popcorn it over to Edie.
I'm Edie, and I am seated by the window. I am one leg crossed over the other, but not interested in performing femininity anymore. I have a cigarette in one hand, ashing it out the window, an ashtray on the window ledge, a snifter of brandy in the other hand, because what I have contributed to this space is the minibar stocked by the local country club.
I love that.
Seated slightly further away from everyone by the window, looking uninterested, of course, but I am very much tuned into the conversation. And when Large Marge hands me a picture to sign, I will, with a very elegant fountain pen.
I brought these metallic Sharpies, but I guess if you want to be different than the group, that's fine, Edie. That's fine.
I'll swirl the snifters.
I could not hear any of that. I'm so sorry.
Oh no! I will swirl the snifter of brandy, sign the picture with the fountain pen, and hand it back to you without a word, but a smile.
As you finish signing, you're near the window, Edie. You kind of move your hand to Ash, and as your eye kind of goes out onto the very meager skyline, and I pause to say skyline of Brindlewood Bay. You might be in the tallest building in Brindlewood Bay, and it's 3 stories. And you're on Main Street. You look out and you see the sheriff's car down below, and you see Sheriff Dalrymple exiting the car, kind of like having another conversation with a deputy. A little heated. You see him take like a really big, deep breath, and you see him open the door into the Candlelight Bookstore, and then you start to hear stomping, plodding feet going upstairs.
Ladies, look lively. We've company approaching.
So for y'all, this is you are the headshots and podcast lighting is not been unearned. You've gained some amount of renown for one being Angela Delacourt's super fans, and like the foremost experts on the format and genre of her murder mystery novels, but also of being murder mystery sleuths in real life. You have stumbled upon, been asked to help with, or otherwise fallen into many mysteries and come out on the other side somewhat unscathed, maybe with some dark memories, but with a very successful record in solving them. So if the sheriff is dragging his butt here, probably has something that he needs help with.
Oh boy, here we go again. They always come to us. You think that they ought to put us on payroll or something.
And from personal experience that your interactions with Dalrymple are not necessarily, like, they're for the most part positive, but you can tell that he probably takes a bit of umbrage with having to walk hat in hand to a bunch of grandmas for help doing his job. And as you're kind of pondering this, you hear a knock on the door.
Opal, be a dear, get the door, won't you?
Who is it?
It's Sheriff Dalrymple. I just wanted to see if I could borrow you young ladies for a few minutes.
Come in, dearie.
All right. He kind of cracks the door open. Hat in hand, actually, in this moment. And just a classic, like, 80s sheriff regalia. He's wearing, like, those tan and browns, got a big shiny badge. His normal hat is a cowboy hat. We're in Massachusetts. There's no cowboys in Massachusetts. But you can tell that he just loves the idea that he's a sheriff. Evening, ladies. Are you finished with your club this evening? Can I maybe bug you for a bit?
Quite
We
the
were just
contrary.
finishing signing some pictures here.
Yeah, I heard that there was some scuttlebutt at the local farmers market this morning that perhaps your likenesses were going on sale on eBay, and it was discussed. I don't know about positively by the town, but people they're talking about it all the same. These Angela Delacourt books, so good. Just these, he kind of like thumbs through, like, there's like 150 of these books that have been written over the years. So just thumbing through. Yeah, I remember this one. It's the butler that did it. Okay. I need help.
Penchant for pleasantry ever intact. Please, your request immediately.
All right. And you can see like a little sweat beginning to form on his brow. Kind of comes towards the table. There's been a really high-profile murder. Are you all familiar with the New York Krauses? And now this is going to be an establishing question, which they have in Brindlewood Bay. You all may or may not, it's your choice, as always, but this gives you free reign to create a connection with the family that is involved here. The Krauses, just general information, the Krauses are kind of like New York bigwigs. You know that the husband, Albert Kraus, is like this big wig financier that kind of is making some inroads in this town. Like, he bought like the biggest house and has been outfitting it, trying to like make some headway here. Is like, this is like the north compound for the Krauses, where they can come and visit during the spring when it's really nice out here. But that he's a relatively shady kind of like New York businessman. His family, his wife is kind of supposed to be this kind of like trophy wife that just all like pictures end up in all of the tabloids, and the kids that are involved, they're all supposed to be kind of like something's wrong with each and every one, and various facets that the rumor mill is always talking about. Um, but does anybody want to know the Krauses or had a run-in with the family?
I kind of have a thought that if they have, especially if they have like a teen that was like had to get pageant training because that's what I enforced on them. Not that they wanted it, but I heavily suggested it over
Yes.
and over until I got at least one, if not multiple sessions.
Yes. Sarah Kraus, who is the eldest of the daughters, was like handcrafted to be the perfect like northeastern, like I don't even know what they call them, like uh elite, I guess, for a lack of a better word. There's probably like more of a
Debutante?
localized term. A debutante, yes, exactly. So when that season came about, you made sure the family knew or well aware of your services, and you got a little taste of the family, and you found them to be odd. I guess if you this is your chance to kind of paint it as well. How would you feel that your interactions were with them?
I believe I would think that like with the parents, it's so weird, just all the way through. Because when I got to know the daughter, she was kind of one who would tell me all the secrets of what she did because she couldn't tell her parents. Because I was like, no, I need to know your secrets so we can keep them hidden to make sure that you can stay classy. But sometimes she would spill like some of the not big secrets of like what her mom, what her dad would do, and so on. And I was like,
Yeah.
everyone's got their secrets. I don't trust them now.
Gotcha. Does anybody else want to know the family? John, how do you know the family?
I was gonna say, I think the Kraus patriarch and my ex-husband, who was a congressperson, have rubbed elbows at many a gala, so I'm certain that I have made their acquaintance. I'm sure I've shared a drink and a cigarette with them from time to time, but I am, I believe, wholly uninterested in knowing them deeper than that.
Yes, of course. In your husband's very illustrious, we'll use air quotes for that, career where they mostly just got donations and drank whiskey in back rooms while smoking cigarettes and like playing cards and everything like that. That he knew that you know Albert and Allison Krauss, not I hate to say intimately, but you've probably seen them at some of their worst and most lubricated moments, I guess you could say, like when they're drunk and like the guard comes down and the niceties that they probably have up for the cameras falter, the little spats, the little sharp words that are probably exchanged. You have a pretty good idea that their marriage is functional. Like you don't sense a great love there. You can sense that Allison Krauss loves money. You can tell that Albert Krauss also loves money, and they seem to be the biggest thing that they have in common is their love of cash. Anybody else?
I think Maud might know in the sense that they're like a well, it's an investigative journalist. She might have heard the name before.
Yeah. Like, do you want me to paint maybe your connection, or do you have an idea already?
I think maybe there was a story that Maud was working on that fell through the cracks, that like looking into things hit a dead end, but a couple of the names of the family cropped up every now and then.
Yes. They are like a weed through the Northeast. They are connected to many scandals, but never outright named. It's always, their boat or their helicopter, or it happened on their property, but it's not actually their fault. Some other people were involved, that sort of thing. They always have that layer of protection and a little bit of distance from whatever tragedy or catastrophe or scandal. But you do know that David Krauss, the eldest son, who is known to be an avant-garde artist, has been linked to some scandal, like how he got into the college that he was in, considering he was like a 1.0 GPA student, and considering you got like this really intense scholarship. I'm blanking on a good school in New York City.
Cambridge?
Columbia.
NYU, Columbia,
Like yeah, Columbia.
Juilliard.
Juilliard. We'll say Juilliard. Like
Juilliard sounds
got this
fun.
weird one-time scholarship to Juilliard, and then like was kicked out a semester afterwards, and then immediately let back in. And this like tumultuous back and forth that was only like lightly talked about. This stuff would be like the New York Daily Post like fodder. You would see this about like anybody else, but for whatever reason, what about them? And every time you tried to like dig a little deeper, everybody clammed up.
Peculiar.
Yeah. Anybody else? And you don't have to if you don't want to. They could be complete strangers to you, which also might be helpful, because if they don't know you, they might be more trusting. So there is a little back and forth here. No takers. All right. Dalrymple sets his hat on the table. Well, the Crouches were on their boat, and they were on a bit of a yacht excursion, and they evidently the captain's got connections to the town. You know, local. He's a local boy. He wanted to show them around some of the interesting areas, and well, Albert Kraus, I guess, fell overboard, is what they're saying. But I just got this feeling that there's something not right there, and nobody. Some of these stories these people on the boat have don't quite line up, and this is a big case, and they're already on the phone with their lawyers, and we can't keep them much longer. Could really use some help if you've got the time. I know it's getting late.
I fear we've nothing but time.
You
Happy
see
to
him
help.
like stifle a laugh at that. Like he like, yeah, you nothing but time. When I look at all of you, I think eternal.
Good answer.
I am voluntelling the rest of the crew that we will take this assignment.
All right.
Marge looks like she's going to say something, looks that he's still here, and then decides to shut her mouth.
All right. Does anybody have any last little? You could ask Dalrymple some questions, or you can explore the scene a bit more. But if we don't have any other things to do, we'll cut to the next location.
Rudy's just ready to get to the boat.
All right. We shift to the marina. It's late, so there's not too many people are out. There's these kind of like yellow halogen lights that are keeping everything alit. The smell of salt spray is in the air. It's the spring-ish time, so there's a little cool in the air, but it's not like unbearable. You don't need your jacket. Gulls declaiming over the head, and a mix of people kind of like wrapping up their activities for the day. There's vendors here, and there's like a couple stores, live seafood type stuff. You can tell that they're kind of like finishing up, wrapping up, closing down. Now I'd like each of you to paint the scene. In what, like, to paint the scene, what was your last maybe interaction here? What was the last time you were here? And like, maybe what did you do?
I feel like, because I had to double check what else I put on here. I organized events. That was a thing that I did. So I definitely had like a fashion swimsuit attempt with the other people I could find to do a runway on one of the docks. To do some kind of trying to help the wildlife in the marina, because that seemed like a very charitable thing that was happening, that was trending.
I think that I went in on that with you, and I did like an aerobics in the water sort of event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a multi-event activity at the marina. We had the aerobics, we had like swimsuit showcase.
Oh, I think
There was pizza.
There was always pizza.
I think I was also there. I was a judge in the clam chowder competition, and I got food poisoning.
I do remember the food poisoning. That was unfortunate.
I was
I
judging for days.
participated in the clam chowder contest.
I tried to get photographs of all of the events, but I took an unfortunate number of pictures of people getting food poisoning.
And as you all had,
wasn't me, not mine.
nobody said they were supposed to be fresh clams. As you're kind of having this moment the last time you're here, which it could have been relatively recent, like within the month, you do see some of the tattered remnants of like "Long live the clam days of Brindlewood." A banner that's kind of been a little, maybe tossed around a little bit too much in the wind, that wasn't taken down for whatever reason. And you can see the moon kind of reflecting on some of the water. Dalrymple has escorted you here. He goes, all right, so we've got, would you like to see the body? They have it. He kind of like nudges over to where there is a fish market. They got him on ice. Or we could go to the Regal Lady, the boat. Your choice. I don't know which you prefer. Talk to the people, see the body.
Does he always let us look at the body so soon?
No. You can tell like he's very he's very desperate, and he knows that he does not have this. Like he cannot keep these people here for much longer. He's desperate.
Oh, you desperate toots. We've got this. We'll take a peek.
I'm the duly elected official of justice in this
Sure,
town, and if you're going to go
sure.
see a body, you need to put that out.
And I just smoke it as fast as I can, and I make eye contact with them the whole time.
That's fine. I just don't want any ash on the body. It's hard to explain last time to the coroner.
Don't have to bring up last time. It's fine. All right. I flick it down, step on it, and then pick it up, put it in my pocket. Not a litter bug.
All right, so is everybody cool visiting the corpse first?
Yeah.
All right, you make your way to this fish market where y'all have probably been a couple of times. You've probably like picked up, some nice fresh seafood. So it is a bit alarming when you see Etienne, the fishmonger, kind of looking a little dour. It kind of looks a little green around the gills, actually, as you step into the front little. Not really much of a door; it's an open air market. So he just seems to be standing there, very kind of biting his nails.
Salut, Etienne. How are you doing?
Oh, mon ami, it's okay. I'm gonna drop the act. There's a dead guy in my freezer. So if whatever y'all could do could wrap up, and this is a bit of a surprise for all of you because he has there's a lot of tourists that come through here, and he kind of plays like this kind of swarthy French thing going on. He just immediately drops it I need you to get rid of this dead body, Dalrymple. This can't be legal. Well, it takes too long to take it to the coroner, and the coroner's office, it's closed already. We'd have to, I can't have the body stay inside the ship where there could be a murderer on it. Etienne goes, well, and I'm supposed to, I gotta sell fish, man. These fish, I gotta put a fish where a dead guy was tomorrow. And then the murderer, the murderer's gonna come here? What, to buy fish? Or to kill the person that's guarding a body? Well, I kind of you can tell that Dalrymple's kind of loosening his collar. It's being a little dramatic, but there's probably more truth to that than he would like to lie. Etienne kind of opens up the door. I am not planning to look upon it again.
The body's currently in the fishmonger's freezer.
Yes.
I'm
To
gonna
paint the scene. Is everybody going inside the freezer?
How big is it?
It's a pretty big freezer. You can tell it's like an industrial size one. It's like 10 by 10 feet. And this body is currently sitting on a large pack of ice. But there's like a bunch of snapper like 4 inches away from it. It's a little weird. And what you see is like think yacht daddy. We're talking a little collared shirt. We're talking slacks. There's even still a sweater tied somehow miraculously that is still tied around his waterlogged neck, but still looks pretty damp. Got like big blonde hair, kind of greased back. The water was very resistant, or is very resistant to the water. Probably mid 60s. Just got like this kind of weird little whiff of a mustache. Looks, pretty wrinkly, but you can tell he's got a spray on tan.
All right, ladies.
Any
You go first.
injuries to the body?
Make a meddling roll. As you begin to investigate and maybe take a look around here, we're going to do our first roll for the evening. You're searching for a clue.
Opal, let me get you some gloves. And I'm gonna go and find some gloves. For
Yeah, you hear
everyone
Danny
else.
report. No touching. Don't disturb the chain of evidence.
I think I would love to add what I was going to say, which was, I think I will say, like, now remember, ladies, the first rule for drownings, according to Delacourt. Let's look for the conjunctival petechial hemorrhages in the eyes, yes?
Perfect.
Large Marge totally understands. Jess
Yeah.
was just.
And just so I understand,
Thanks for the reminder.
body was thrown over and then put in the freezer for now.
Yes. Put on ice so it doesn't spoil.
Okay.
But they're saying, what Dairy Ripple said is that they're saying it's a drowning, but Dairy Ripple thinks that there's foul play.
I think for forensics nerds, petechial hemorrhaging in the eyes is usually a sign of drowning. It's the way the eyes swell up as a result.
Okay.
So if there is no swelling in the eyes, then perhaps it was not drowning.
All right. Will whoever I guess Opal will be doing this. Opal, make a meddling move, roll 2d6s, and then add whatever stat you can convince me of. Reason would work. I feel like vitality or composure might also work as well.
Vitality?
You're physically like manipulating the body, lifting up the body to see if there's something on the back, that sort of thing. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Yep. I'll do vitality.
All right. So I think you're gonna add a +1 to that. So roll 2d6s.
4.
4? Ooh. So 4, unfortunately, is a failure. You like try to find some kind of evidence on this body, something that would. So this is also a thing you could do. Would you like to put on a crown? Before we actually get too far into it, would you like to put on a crown? You get to basically move it up from a basically failure to mixed success.
We also have one auto success that has been donated.
That is also a thing you can do.
Okay.
How do we want to proceed there? Correct.
I think I'll hold off on.
Just gonna let the failure ride. All right. You try to manipulate the body a bit, and as you kind of try to lift the body to see if there's something on the back, the ice underneath it begins to kind of give way, and poor Albert Krause basically falls face first into half a side of tuna.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, dang it! That's gonna be hard to explain. Oh, jeez.
Well, you shouldn't have put him in fish anyways, but
Well, he's not in fish. He was on ice until you put him on fish. Etienne, could you help me
He's
pick
sleeping
up
with
this?
the fishes now.
Really? there's a dead body here, and we're gonna make humor. And you see Etienne actually like cracking a bit, like. Etienne, I don't want to pull my back out. Could you help lift up this body and put it back on ice? Oh, you know what? How much is this tuna, Etienne? About $750. Well, you know what? Here's 10. Oh God. You know what? Bill it to, no, don't bill it to the department. We'll talk about it later. As they're kind of like tugging this guy back onto the ice. Would anybody else like to do anything? Like, meddling is still available if somebody else wants to take a crack at it.
I think.
Sorry to interrupt. And also, everybody is a potential suspect, including Dairy Rimple. So Etienne's a suspect. Dairy Rimple's a suspect. So if you do want to like cajole them or try to get evidence out of them, that is an option too.
Do we know who found the body? That wasn't given to us?
That was not given to you.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk to Derek, senior detective, and help me understand there. Who was it that did discover our dear Albert here?
Well, it's a little complicated. It seems like nobody wants to say. They weren't very far from shore, so he ended up floating up onto shore. And then some tourists saw him earlier this evening. So we don't know if anybody... It is a little strange that we had to call the yacht, and I guess nobody missed him until we pointed it out. That's what I'm thinking. There might be foul play. Maybe they're all in on it.
I don't have any other questions. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna meddle with the body. I think if I just give it a nice look over, noticing the clothes. I know there was drowning, but see if there's anything about the clothes that show signs of any form of foul play that looks like there might be something in the pockets, something that was held on to.
All right, you do the same. So I think reason could be very good for this one. Presence is hard on a dead body.
It is. I may be able to charm the dead when they say I knock them dead, but you know.
If you can find a use for one of your cozy little place items, it will give you advantage. So if you really want to juice it, you can.
None of my cozy stuff is helpful here. No, I'm gonna physically go about it. I know how to handle a man.
Okay.
I'll use vitality.
Go ahead. Roll 2d6. We'll see if we get 2 in the tuna.
6 and
one.
5. Oh,
that's 11.
Can I argue vitality?
Yeah, sure.
Since I'm gonna manhandle, that's +1 on there then.
So was that total 12?
That's 12.
That is a crit. So fun thing happens on a 12. You get like a void clue, which means like there's a greater conspiracy afoot. But I'll also give you a real clue because void clues are for like a campaign. So you, Dairy Ripple, like kind of taking a breather, he turns his back to everything for a moment. You kind of like go through the pockets a bit. You find a lot of like normal rich people stuff. Nice watch. Really nice leather, like Italian wallet that's filled with like, quite a bit of cash. But in one of his pockets, we'll say his butt pocket, you find let's see here. I gotta pick a clue.
What does Albert keep next to his cheeks?
Yeah, I gotta find a cool clue for this. I do like that there's an expensive Samoyed, but it's missing. I think a Samoyed's a dog, right? You find in his back pocket a guest list for an upcoming like big Kraus like big wig party. And as you quick, it's a little waterlogged, but you can still make out the names. Senators. The governor of New York is actually invited. You can see the mayor. All these big names. And at the very bottom, you see a name crossed out. In such a way, and the waterlog happened that it does not seem like you can make out who was crossed out. And this seems like a very angry action, and it seems to be clustered around where the family is. You can see like Allison Krauss, David Krauss, Emily Krauss, some other names, but this one is crossed out.
Okay, but I do see Allison, I do see David, and I see Emily.
Yes.
Do I see Albert? Like, is this Albert's list, or maybe a list
This seems to be Albert's like master list of people that he was inviting to this party. And because you get a void clue, I'm going to give you a little extra thing as you are like reading through this. Your eye, like, you get this like weird tugging sensation on like your left eye as your head is like almost unconsciously moves to the side, and you see a very strange fish with markings that you don't recognize, with that it's like purple, but it's got like scars all over, and instead of having two eyes on one eye on one side, one eye on the other, normal fish stuff, it has three eyes on one side and a long dribble of like purple ooze comes out of its very gnarly teethed mouth. And you lock eyes with it for a second, it blinks and like spasms and then croaks.
Like, if I look at it, is it still like this thing, or was it like a moment of weird fish?
It's still there.
I feel like Rudy would not be able to hold composure. Well, that's the nastiest catfish I've ever seen, and I've seen things in the South. As I'm like just eyeing that general direction of fish.
Oh, and then as you say that, Etienne goes, "Oh no, that's the gross fish. I don't know how it got in here." And it kind of like takes doesn't take a paper towel, but a newspaper, begins to like wrap it up really hastily and like kind of like sets it aside, which he thought was strange because he doesn't throw it away. He sets it aside.
That's suspicious.
So suspicious.
Speaking of suspicious, we got a donation to see a POV from the murderer's POV.
So I got a question. Is this for like right now, or will it be maybe the setting up of this murder?
You're the game master, the granny master. Excuse me.
We'll do the very classic Murder, She Wrote like POV murder. So imagine a very ostentatious 80s boat. Camera pans up to the Kraus patriarch, Albert. He's got a flute of champagne in one hand, his hand on his hip as he takes a small sip. Kind of like looks like a bit of a douchebag. Kind of the camera pans out and we see Allison Krauss sunbathing. We see Sarah Krauss sitting next to her, like rapid fire talking to her mother, who seems to be just like phased, not nonplussed, non-phased by anything that's being said, as it looks like Sarah's having a slight breakdown. You see David Krauss, this kind of avant-garde artist, dressed very strangely. Think David from, what is that show? Oh man, what is it?
Schitt's Creek?
Schitt's Creek, yes. Think exactly David from Schitt's Creek. Thank you so much. And you just kind of like, he's got like a stencil out and he's trying to graffiti the side of this yacht, while a butler is hastily trying to like stop him and getting sprayed with some of this like very like gold metallic spray paints. You see Emily Krauss, the youngest daughter, head like buried into a computer as the camera pans on the other side of it, and you see that she is actively hacking into a banking database. And finally the camera pans up to the captain, this bleached teeth, orange-faced, like taut man, easily in his 50s, but he's got like a great body, wearing like the full sailor's whites. And then the camera changes to that of hands coming down a ladder, sneaking around the corner. And then you hear a small disturbance. It seems like Sarah has finally truly lost it, as other people are now trying to console her. You can see that Albert kind of like looks in that direction, just kind of goes, women, starts to drink more of his champagne as the point of view of this murder gets closer and closer and closer. And then you see a plastic bag coming out of a pocket, and then that's all you see. You just see the shaking of a body as it is pushed overboard, and there's a loud splash. And then it cuts back to us. It was probably like a commercial break now, and then it cuts back to you all in the scene.
No, I'm gonna let if someone else has something.
Anything is possible right now. Don't be afraid to do or want to do anything.
You know, it's really interesting because my Albert died in weird and mysterious ways too, and I just never found out why he died, how he died, anything about his death. This Albert, though, we're gonna get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, I always meant to ask you about your Albert. Very mysterious circumstances, I've heard. There's
Mysterious
nothing to add
indeed.
on that? Secondhand lung cancer, perhaps? He kind of like sees you head to toe in Ziggy wear.
And you know, I don't even know how this cigarette got here. Let me just smoke it really quickly.
You've shifted to they have like a cigarette shaped like e-cigarette. You're like that's what my father-in-law does. Whenever he's inside, he shifts to an e, because it's not as bad, right? It's not as bad. Nobody can tell.
Etienne, do you handle I mean, do you do the food for most of the yacht events?
Oh yeah, anything like seafood. I've been known to make a little croquembouche, that sort of thing. Yeah, I'm a supplier for a lot of the vendors. I give fish to boats, that sort of thing.
And tell me, Dalton, are you aware of an upcoming big event that the Krause family is having? I'm assuming that way you can get the orders in time.
Oh, let me check real quick. And he kind of like goes over to a clipboard. He's like, oh, yeah. And he kind of like looks at that big side of tuna. He's like, actually, there was an order for a half side of bluefin tuna for tuna tartare. That was it's supposed to be going to the Krause residence, yes.
Do you happen to know either the theme or the reason for such a big event?
Make a meddling move. This sounds like we're fishing for a clue.
I'm fishing with the fishmonger. I'm definitely upping the charm too. Like I'm leaning into his space to try and argue presence. 5 and a 4, 9.
9. Plus, this will be, you could do presence.
Oh,
does that pop it up to a 12 again?
It does pop it up to a 12.
Oh man, you're gonna hit it with so many void clues. This is going to be. Well, I heard that his eldest daughter. It's not her birthday, but it's like an anniversary or something like that. Her and her husband. I don't know if it's like one of rich people. So many anniversaries. I don't know if it was wedding anniversary, first kiss anniversary, child anniversary. I guess they call those in here birthday. But it was like something like that. It wasn't like I don't know. I don't think there was like, eyes wide shut type thing going on, but this has gone from French to a completely different accent. I'm kind of okay with it.
Well, look, we love the accent trip. I think Edie will chime in just to see if Edie can remember from any of the times I cross paths. Like,
Hmm.
can she remember if there's an event, like a birthday or something around this time, using her socialite memory?
Yeah. Oh, and also this will be second clue. So first clue for
Oh, right.
everybody's knowledge, just for because I need to make sure that everybody remembers them. Because if it's up to me to remember them, one of them will get
I
one of
am
us.
writing them down as far as I know too.
So first one is guest list with a name stricken off. Second clue is that there seems to be a relatively big party connected to the eldest daughter, Elaine. Oh, not Elena. Sarah Krause. Sarah Krause, yes. So there seems to be a big wig party coming up. And then you are interested in if you can use your socialite. Yes. This one is going to be, it is in fact an anniversary of Sarah Krause and her husband getting married. That being said, in the socialite circles, there's been some rumors that things are not going so well right now between Sarah and her long forgotten husband. Or not long forgotten, that would mean he's dead. But there's some rumors that they are split currently. And that because in just a little flashback to when Derry Ripple was talking about the circumstances, you didn't hear any reference to this husband being on the boat. So it's entirely possible that maybe this is kind of like proof positive that things are a little bit on the rocks and they're not together anymore. This might be more than just like a yachting adventure. Maybe it's a trial separation type thing.
Can I check the list to see if her husband's name is on the list, since I have it?
Yeah, yes, you can. You do check and it doesn't seem like he's on there.
Okay. Out of curiosity, is the scratch out next to Sarah's name? Like, there's like Allison, David, Sarah, cross out.
Yes, it is next to Sarah's name.
So like I will be sharing that with like I would believe that me and Edie, because we do the rich charity events and so on, would I be like checking the list and I'm like, oh, I do believe it. We're having a wedding anniversary type thing.
It goes to celebrate the anniversary without one of its participants, but I suppose why waste a perfectly good yacht trip?
Perhaps. I do like the way your thoughts are going here. We got 2 of these.
Yeah, 2 clues. Oh, and then you also get an additional void clue. So let's see what we can freak you out with more. That same fish seems to have wormed its way out of the newspaper. And you kind of just notice it because you can see it wiggling. It looks up at you, and you can swear it says "Lloyd." And then it's a very active dead fish.
And I'm like, I'm gonna look over since I'm next to Edie. Like, tell me, see, how many eyes does that fish have?
The appropriate amount, I'm sure.
Oh.
And we'll look over at Etienne and goes, Etienne, ma chère, why are you keeping this very strange fish?
Oh no, that's you know what, totally true. You know the new local school, they like to dissect weird fish. So let me just, he kind of like puts it in a bag and still doesn't throw it away, just puts it like outside.
Going to dissect a rotting carcass? Don't you preserve them, formaldehyde and such, etc.?
No, it's good for the fresh. This local school children, they like a fresh fish to dissect.
Yeah, it'll be stinking by the morning. How fresh would it be?
You know what? That's true. It's like, I'm going to go through it out as he kind of just like sulks out of sea. Definitely still not tossing it.
I would like to follow him. I gotta go outside for a real smoke. And I'm gonna like give the ladies a knowing look.
I'm gonna say this is also meddling. We're hunting a clue. I would say you could probably trick me into using any of your stats. Vitality, composure, reason, presence. Maybe composure, because it would be my most likely, because that one's like a little like keeping it together, stealthy, trying to not be caught in a shadow, or staying caught in a shadow, I guess, in this tense.
I think that I am using my raw physicality and
You're
athleticism
just being
to
large
stick,
margin here.
stick to the shadows. And then if for some reason I get caught, I'm just going to pretend like I am actually
It's
going
smoke
out
break
for a
time.
smoke break. Yeah.
No, that's so good. Yeah, so go ahead and roll. If you want to use any of your cozy stuff, you can. Well, that makes sense, I suppose.
So I rolled a 10.
10 total.
Either way, because vitality and presence are 2, but my cozy lighter that has a pepperoni wrapped around it. I guess I don't need to, because a 10 is pretty.
10's pretty good. It just happens. There's no difficulties or anything like that. You don't get a crit, but it still works out in your favor. You wait the proper amount of time so that you're not like literally bumping into Etienne. But before the door can kind of like slam shut, you put your foot in the jam, and then you kind of wiggle your way out. We hit a back alley. Things have gotten dark at this point. We're fully into night. There is only a single light bulb illuminating the exit of this place. You see Etienne walking towards a dumpster with the bag, and you see him kind of like stop about 5 feet before it, and then instead of putting it in the dumpster, he kind of puts it right next to the dumpster, probably just so you can't, maybe just so it can stop being a menace. But as you are doing this, you can see Etienne also strikes up a cigarette, and as he is searching through his pockets and all that stuff, and gets his lighter and gets his cigarettes, and strikes it up, starts smoking one, kind of walks past the dumpster back into the marina proper so he doesn't get like any smoke near his shop. You do see that as he was shuffling through his pockets, it looks like a piece of paper has fallen out and is now on the ground.
I'm going to wait the appropriate amount of time. I'm going to take that piece of paper off of the ground, and then I am going to scoop up that disgusting, nasty fish.
All right, so you have the fish. So in that piece of paper, you find a sequence of numbers written on the slip of paper. Not entirely sure what it might be. It's a little, it's one of those things. It's a little too it's too long to be like a pin for like a debit card, but it's a little too. It's probably also a little too long maybe for a phone number, but it could be like a phone number if they had like the area code on there. It doesn't have any like distinguishing marks that sometimes you would see, but it looks like it was handwritten.
Just the human person wants to know if it is account or routing number length. Large Marge does not have that question.
So Jess, it's bank account number sized. But Large Marge may not know. And you notice as you read this, and Large Marge notes it to herself, that this is a little strange. You are out in night, and at this point, if this was a TV show, the music would get a little off key. You hear footsteps, expecting Etienne, but so you hear some footsteps approaching, and you see a dark figure. You're like ensconced in this like beam of light from this single light bulb, so you can't quite make out the figure. What do you do?
I'm going to like crush the paper, shove it in my pocket, and then I'm just like taking the fish and like putting it into my jacket.
Oh, okay. As you do that, the figure takes a step forward and then darts as they slam into this dumpster, launching it towards you. I need you to make a night roll. So night rolls are very interesting because we're kind of setting this at night. Just it's a little, the stakes are higher. So you're facing something you fear, which is going to be bodily harm. I want you to say, so that how we do this, in this scene, what are you most afraid of happening?
Breaking my hip.
Okay. And because this is a night move, I get to retort with how it's oh so much worse. You notice as you begin to like run backwards and try to avoid this, that behind you is a bunch of, you could like, there was just a recent renovation at Etienne's fish market. There is a pile of rusted metal, sharp like little pieces of of glass, as some of the viewing windows for like the lobster tanks have been like broken and stuff like that. If this thing hits you and carries you, you're gonna get a lot more than a broken hip. You're probably gonna like die here to this evening. So now we're gonna roll.
What the fuck?
Yeah, the stakes are high at nighttime. It's always, so the thing is, I'm always, for nighttime ones, I'm always gonna threaten death. But the thing is, you have a lot of ways to basically, like, you die if you roll poorly, but you always have a way to escape death, because you have so many crowns.
Okay, so I can still roll with vitality because I'm using my raw physicality.
Honestly, whatever stat you feel like works out for you.
All right. I rolled a 6 and a 4, and I have a +2 to vitality.
That's a 12. That's a crit. You do what you intended, and you hold steady. So, what would you? How would Large Marge get out of the situation?
I think she literally just like jumps out of the way, and then she's going to whip around as fast as she can to see who this person is.
You do that. This relatively full, so it had a lot of weight behind it. So this person must have, I don't know, either been planning this or maybe a little beefy. You don't know how they got it going. So there is a bit of an incline going down this way. So maybe that also helped. But you, with your cat-like reflexes and your just lungs so good with breathing in fresh air, are able to launch yourself out of the way just in time. This big green dumpster slams into all of this construction refuse. You hear some grinding of metal, some more breaking of glass. And as you are catching your breath, you kind of twist around to see who is there, and all you see is a silhouette darting as fast as they can in the direction of the marina and where they have the boats docked. And in the distance, the largest by far, you see this kind of outline with some lights on the edges of the Krause's boat, the Regal Lady. We also get to give you an extra benefit or advantage. So I'm going to say, while you're on the ground out here, you find what would be something that maybe like maybe we can do this together. What would like Large Marge find super useful in a fish alley of a fish, or like the back alley of a fish market?
I don't want to say something for my cat, but I can only think of like treats for little Margie, who I left inside the freezer area because fish.
Yeah.
She didn't almost die, just me.
You find a bag, still sealed, still within date, but just thrown out by Etienne because you were the only person buying them, of Lil Marge's like favorite, like freeze dried like fish bites. You can get her to basically do any kind of trick with these fish bites. So maybe they'll come into play later. Who knows?
I immediately opened my phone and hit the group chat.
And also, all of you hear like a huge crash just outside the door.
I'm gonna go towards it, not running. A queen never runs.
A queen never runs.
Well, I am running back to y'all. Nobody picks up the phone, so I'm literally doing a voicemail right now. Now, I don't, I don't know what I sound like anymore. Oh, boy.
The smoking, it changes your voice all the time. Different cigarettes have different voice modulations for some reason.
I gotta stop drinking or smoking those fucking e-cigarettes. What the fuck are you guys? I called you and nobody's answering the phone. We need to go.
You're leaving this message, and there's probably like half of your friends are just looking out the door at you on
Yeah.
the phone in this moment.
And I'm just
Marge,
like
we can hear
speed
you.
walking.
And then
at
you
that point.
see Etienne come around the corner, still smoking. Start, Merde, this is going to take forever to clean up. Large Marge, what did you do?
Are you all right, Marge?
No, I'm not. What did I do? What did you do, Etienne? What the fuck was that?
No smoking is bad, but you're my role model. I learned it from you.
She like pushes her hair behind her ear. Yeah, somebody just pushed a fucking dumpster my way. Almost took me downstairs, if you know what I mean.
Oh no!
Well, that cuts it. I feel like there has to be some foul play involved.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
gotta go to the marinas right now. They hightailed it out of there, going towards the Krause's boat.
Well, I do believe it's time to meet some, bump shoulders with some of the affluential Krauses and guests, yes?
Yes.
All right, and then this is probably the moment of a commercial break. Speaking of which, I don't know who's tracking what time we take a break. Are we approaching or?
We've got about 15.
All right. So commercial break happens. You all basically appear in front of this very well lit boat. You're all, maybe Large Marge a little bit disheveled from her near death experience. So, as you approach I believe it's called the Regal Lady, because this name has to be like the most annoying thing ever. Let's see here. Is there an establishing question for the Regal Lady? Yes. Paint the scene. As you step aboard this yacht, what do you see that shows these people have way more money than sense? This can be each one of you sees one thing that is just like, why? Why? For what purpose?
They have a tiger on the boat.
Ooh.
That is a big why. You can see Jerry Ripple's like, that's got to be a citation, right? That. I feel like a crime. I saw the Tiger King, and I thought that was atrocious.
Grand piano on wheels.
On a boat that is crazy. That is
So it is every time the boat rocks, the piano was also kind of rolling a little bit too.
Okay, yeah. They just
Everything
refuse
is
to lock
gilded.
Railings. Yeah, the railings are solid gold.
Yeah. Everything is gilded. All of it. Just like all the dumbest things are gilded.
Love it. We're painting a good scene so far, Jaden. What does Opal see that just more money than sense?
See, unfortunately, my brain just goes to the one thing I've always thought was the wildest thing I've ever seen on any water thing, which is gold-plated spinners.
There's wheels outside the boat for literally no other purpose, which honestly fits in. Maybe this is a later season, so we've almost hit the aughts. Maybe there was a Pimp My Ride crossover that happened. Who knows? So there's some allusions to it this season. As you enter the boat, it is much as you all described. It is overly ostentatious. This place looks like it is made of money. This yacht is very much like, as we would see, like a Bezos style yacht, where this thing is super huge, super intricate, super fancy, especially for the time frame, filled with technology. As you approach and get on board, you are greeted by, well, you can only presume, dressed like this, who's almost like to the T, like Bridgerton 18th century butler attire right now, down to like even the buttons don't even look like they are like actually buttons, but like more like pins. You are greeted by the butler. Excuse me, are you guests of the Krauses?
Yeah.
I don't believe. He kind of like picks up a piece of paper. You're on the list. Mr. Dalrymple, we have told you several times that this is private property, and without a warrant, you cannot exist aboard.
So
I've been trying to tell him to leave me alone for the last 2 weeks. He keeps following me all over town, asking for a date. The answer is no, buddy. No, comma,
No
buddy.
means no.
I've
I
double
like-
checked.
Sheriff Dalrymple.
Rudy's just gonna keep walking past him.
No, excuse. Make a. This will be. I'm going to say this is a day move. This is not meddling. So you're gonna attempt to, just kind of like muscle forward.
No, I'm going to, as like he's trying to talk and whatever, I'm going to sashay to the side, head up, nose turned up, because a queen does not only doesn't run, the queen also doesn't stop until she reaches the end of the runway.
All right. So given the current distraction between Dalrymple and Large Marge, you're gonna maybe take this opportunity to blend. You do have a certain, socialite air about you.
Doesn't
Maybe
it
this
work?
person's maybe this person will have the blinders on just enough where they'll accept you to like walk in. This is good. We'll say it's a day move because this place is well lit and there's a lot of people around. So go ahead and roll 2d6. And if you want to add any of your items, if you want to use one, that is also possible.
Well, I'm always going to start with seeing if I can make every moment my presence, unless you say I can't.
This would definitely be a presence moment.
I might actually. I feel like this is the moment that I'm going to lean into my prestigious crown, which is on hand always, and it's been placed upon my head to ensure it is the gaudiest thing I have. Like it's
Alright.
worth more than anything I've ever owned.
That's honestly on point. Like just instead of attracting attention, you'll know this place is so coated in gold. There's a solid chance if you just put something gold on your head, you will become invisible to this
Yes.
butler. So before you roll though, what is something you fear might happen if you fail or lose your nerve in this scene?
What would I fear? I think I know like appearance of everything, so like I don't know, being called out on it. I guess
That's pretty good as a socialite, kind of being like rejected, being like you're off the list, you're not on the list.
yeah. Like I've never
That's
not
cool.
been allowed in a place.
Yeah. So it could be a blow to ego is definitely something that you could fear.
Yeah, I think being denied access to somewhere genuinely, I couldn't live that down. Not with the other ladies seeing that. They've never seen me not be allowed somewhere.
Exactly. You could lose face here. That's really important to you.
So yeah, that's my fear.
All right, go ahead and roll your 2d6.
When I use my little thing, what does it do?
Oh, it gives you advantage. So check the box off because you can't use it for the rest of the episode. But it does give you advantage. So you roll 3 dice and take the 2 highest.
Okay. So the 2 highest are both 4s.
So that's an 8 plus
Presence,
you got a good
so
presence.
that's an 11.
Yeah, on a 10 plus, you do what you're intended, or you hold steady, and you get to describe what that looks like in this scene.
I'm going to, so as we approach and he starts trying to like hold everybody, I do like a small turn to like pull my crown, which is tucked into like a spot I have, and I've made it adjusted so it's collapsible, so I can just kind of whip it up like the sunglasses, and it slides gently into my updo, and I just walk with this like grace of swaying, and I feel like there's a gentle breeze from the arena cold that makes my my shawl kind of flow in the wind, giving me this very like ethereal nature as I kind of literally just glide by. And quite literally, I do the steps where like it looks like I'm gliding, not stepping past.
Yeah, you all see this very fluid, smooth, like move here by Opal, as Large Marge and Dalrymple and this butler having like a little back and forth, just seamlessly, just kind of and flawlessly walks forward and is in. Like the butler seemingly blinded by the gold crown. It's like in Predator where you like instead of covering yourself in mud, you just have to put some gold on you and you're just invisible to the Predator vision of this butler. So, Opal, we'll say that you've got the spotlight in this moment.
Rudy.
Before you is the entirety of this boat. You've basically made it past what accounts for security on here. What would you like to do? Like as you're kind of like looking through windows and seeing things, you can see that there's a few lounge areas. You can see that there's like this kind of inner, like almost living room, just inside through a door. Where you can see a couple of the Kraus clan kind of like huddled together, chit chatting.
I'm gonna try to spot. Remember, it was Sarah. Sarah's the elves, but also was my debutante that I like worked with.
Yes. You, as you're kind of wondering that, you hear some subtle sobbing coming from the bow of the boat. I know nautical terms. And there's a small lounge area over there, and not the most well lit, a little secluded. You do hear kind of sobbing and a somewhat familiar voice coming from that direction.
And my goal is to find Sarah so that she can have me get my people in, just in case they can't do it on their own. Because
Okay, yeah. No, it's perfect.
I'm gonna find go to Sarah, or who I think might be Sarah.
You walk over and you find Sarah kind of in a halfway between like a sprawled out on this day bed and like half laying, half sprawled, kind of just moderately sobbing. Oh, Papa. Oh no, Papa. What happened to Papa?
Yeah, I'm going.
Enter Opal.
As Gertrude will kind of continue full grace.
Oh, sorry, Gertrude. I've been calling you Opal. That's my bad, Rudy.
I'm going to continue making my way towards Sarah, and I'm gonna I feel like we have enough of a relationship before that is one of those. I don't question. I just give her the hugs because I know that she doesn't get hugs from her parents.
Oh, gotcha. You just kind of very like come in, mama bear style hug. Or I don't even know, probably not mama bear, but polite socialite kind of like not quite full like shoulder content, but we're touching the backs of the shoulder blades with the fingertips. She goes, "Oh, Rudy, sorry, Gertrude, what are you doing here?"
Oh, well, you called for me, so I came. As you know, a queen knows where she needs to be somewhere at all times.
Oh, I don't remember. I'm so to pieces. I don't even remember calling for you, but it's so good to see you. Did you hear about Papa?
I've heard many things, Papa, and that there's supposed to be an event that I'm coming to that your family's hosting.
Oh, don't even talk to me about that anniversary party. It's a sham. I hate it. Oh, that makes it even worse.
And that's what's important. As I always said, when you feel pain, you've got to let it out. That way, you'll feel sane. So tell me all that bothers you.
I would like you to do. You're rolling a lot. Meddling roll, please, as we try to maybe get another clue.
I'm gonna use one of my things. What do I have here? I want to see my list because why not? No, none of them would apply here.
This will definitely be a presence.
6, 1, that makes it 7 plus 3, 10.
10, yeah, so you hit. Let's see, what fun clue could you possibly find? We're gonna do another one. Oh, dagnabbit. Me and Tori are separated. Just some weird business thing with him and my papa. It went sour, and he blames me for it. And he's got the 3 kids, and they're in the Poconos right now. I don't even know what I'm going to do. So this clue would be that there was a sour business deal between her soon-to-be ex-husband and her father.
I'm just gonna as she tells the story, just tapping the shoulders to give her that moment. Because I'm gonna eventually check in with the other ladies now that I've got the inside scoop of obviously I'm supposed to be here.
And she's going to grab your shoulders. Miss Rudy, I think my papa has been murdered. And that's, I think maybe we could break. That's halfway.
roll the commercial breaks. But before then, friends, we're gonna go and we're gonna drink some water and we're gonna eat some food. We're gonna unshrimp our shoulders. We think that while we're doing all of this, you should also do all of this, but you should also check out the Tiltify link. It doesn't matter whether you are in our Twitch chat or our YouTube, but every dollar donated goes straight to Project Hope, and you can give us some nice little buffs for these old grannies. But, anyways, friends, we will be back in 10 short minutes. See you soon. Hello, friends, and welcome back. This is the second half of our stream where we are playing Brindlewood Bay and raising funds for an incredible organization, Project Hope. If you are not familiar with them, they're an international health and humanitarian aid organization that focuses on disaster and health crises relief, infectious diseases, maternal, neonatal, and child health, as well as health policy and so much more. Whether you are in our Twitch chat or our YouTube chat, there is a link pinned in chat that you can click on. It is our Tiltify link where every dollar donated goes straight to Project Hope. While you're there, you're going to find that there are some really fun incentives that can help out our grannies. So whether you want to donate $10 to gift a reroll or $25 to gift an auto crit, you're going to help out these grandmas. But you can also donate $15 to get a point of view from the murderer. You can donate $35 to make a random flashback scene happen. $50 to give one of the grannies a useful item that's also a clue, or even donate $100 where you get to say, these are the two characters in the scene, and you get to give a suggestion on what that flashback is. While you're on our Tiltify, you will notice that the first $250 donated tonight is matched by Bogus Cheesecake, an incredible Alaskan-based ttrpg company making unique content and systems. So far, we have raised $100, so thank you all so much to everyone who has donated.
Awesome.
And now, without further ado, coming back from our commercial break, I'm going to give things over to Ryan for a quick recap before we get back on this boat.
So, quick recap. Sheriff Dalrymple found our murder mavens amidst their weekly book club and asked them for a bit of help on a very high-profile murder that has yet again befallen this sleepy little town of Brindlewood Bay. That being said, y'all traveled to the marina and specifically the fish market that was inside. Going to Etienne's shop, you saw the infamous New York financier, Albert Strauss, dead, seemingly drowned, and after one failed examination and one actual pass of an investigation, found a clue or two. And then, as things more progressed, there was a murder attempt on one of the murder mavens, a large Marge, and then some more clues were found. We then decided that we were going to go and actually go to the Regal Lady, the potential scene of the crime, to investigate further, where you were stopped by a butler, but through sheer grace and possibly the help of a golden crown that made her a little bit more blended with the scenery of this very gaudy yacht, Gertrude was able to slip past and found Sarah Krause, her mentee and eldest daughter of the deceased, and was able to have a quick conversation. And it seems that Sarah, in the last moment before we went to commercial break, says that she thinks her father was murdered. Now, we are going to change, the camera is going to pan back to the crowd, maybe rewinding time even a little bit, to the folks in front of the butler. Can help you any further, unless you are looking for some kind of refuge from the sheriff, but looking at you, Large Marge, not adequately dressed.
Reggie, and I think Edie is in the full Hillary Clinton pantsuit sort of look, and she's like, Reggie, you know full well I'm on this list, and it's gonna reach for the closest person to her, which I believe is Maud. Just link arms with Maud and drag her forward and goes, I'm on the list, this is my guest, and walk by.
Oh, Edie, so good to see you again.
Charmed as always, I'm sure.
This will be a daytime, and I'm going to say this is going to cover everybody. This is basically your attempt to get the whole group in.
I will link arms with everyone.
You all link arms together on the gangplank.
Of course.
And then this is going to be a day move, so just roll 2d6, unless you want to bring in something from your cozy corner or cozy little place.
I figure I will flash my membership to the country club to which we all belong.
Hey, there you go. That'll be perfect for this. It's actually like a gold badge. It's actually bigger than Dairy Ripple's sheriff badge, strangely enough.
Perfect. Which is funny because I have a more different badge. I think I just have multiple badges. Because one of the other items I have is a Secret
A
Service
Secret
badge
Service
that I got
badge?
somehow. So I'm all badges. I'm here for it. So I flashed the country club badge as like to say like I am like treasurer emeritus of the country club board even, you know, and I'm gonna grab like lock Opal's arm in one, Maud's in the other, and then like do the head tilt to Large Marge and like walk right on by. I have rolled with advantage 2 8s. I would love to argue presence because I am being a Karen. And
You rolled. Oh, you rolled 2 8s.
2 4s, 4 and
Oh,
8.
2 4s. I was like, oh, 2 8s. I was like, oh, how?
I'm special. I'm rolling d20s. All right.
How? Okay, yeah.
You can
Was
get
it
an 8 out
like
of a 6.
10 or?
Yeah. So with
10.
presence, I get a 10.
You see this you see what could only be like a classical scowl, practiced and perfect. As you wish, ma'am. As he steps aside, and just an utter look of disdain on his face. And seeing you pass through, he does kind of once you're like past him, he does kind of like maybe follow behind you all, making sure that you don't, some of the rougher members as he looks at Large Marge try to steal anything.
Now, don't you look at me like that. Derry was on me, and he wouldn't leave me alone, and I tripped and fell and scuffed my knees. That's why I look like this.
You know that cigarette smoke stains.
I light a cigarette in the yacht. Bring me an ashtray, please.
Yes, ma'am. Disappears.
As soon as he disappears, I'm gonna take some like the hors d'oeuvres and like tiny champagne bottles and stuff them into Opal and Maud's purses.
Can be done. Can be done. You know what? You deserve it. And I could say, as you could even say, you could probably add those to your cozy little place. You could do mini champagne bottles. Like Cristal. They're like the travel sizes of Cristal.
Yeah.
So each one's like $50 probably.
Parenthesis stolen.
Yeah. Parentheses stolen. And you can see Dairy Ripple. I don't think that's. Well, I guess it is an hors d'oeuvre. And he goes down and starts to he takes a canapé and like starts to eat it. He kind of like looking around. Hey, well, so this is how the other half lives. Wow.
Mm-hmm. And you see for us everything is free.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna go look for clues. He kind of like puts his hands, but like in his jacket, but kind of behind his back, and starts to kind of just like.
As he saunters off, can I pull the other three into a huddle and go? Has he been suspicious? Is he vibing awful to everyone else today?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was thinking the same thing.
I wouldn't want a murderer back on my ship.
Dylan, I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
think Dylan, you might be muted.
Oh, you muted. Yeah.
He is muted.
Old mute mod.
Oh, now?
Yeah, there we go.
Technical difficulties, folks. We love them. No, I'd say he's been unusually bumbling today.
Maud, you were an inspector, yes?
An investigator, yes.
Same thing, yes. Would you mind snooping on him? Is that what you do? Snoop on people?
I can do that.
Thank you.
But wait, before you leave, this is a crumpled clue that I got before somebody tried to kill me. Maud, I want your brain in on this too. And Large Marge shows the humans playing the game know that it's account numbers, but it's just a random assort of numbers on a piece of paper. And also, I have the fish.
It's a weird fish.
You know, that's what that smell was.
The most important clue of all.
The butler appears behind you. Ashtray, ma'am. Is there a
Thank-
reason why you're holding a fetid bag of stink? Or is that just your purse?
I'm gonna reach out to Ash into the ashtray and go, oops, and put some ash on the floor right next to it. Better clean that up.
No.
Sets down the ashtray and like gets out like a little like brush from one little pocket, like the tiniest little dustpan. As you wish, madam.
Mhm.
Okay, I got to imagine that this is kind of like, like the vampire legend, if used for like salt in front of a vampire, they have to count them all up.
He
That's what
has
you're
to
doing
clean
to
up
this
any
butler?
messes that are made. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, Mrs. Edie, it's always a pleasure. Should I announce you to the rest of the family?
If you would be so kind. And she'll wink at everyone else and go follow the butler.
I've never been announced before.
Wait, what was that?
Never been
announced.
announced before.
He takes you just around the corner, and there is a door that leads into this living room that I kind of described before, where there are several of the family members, a bit obfuscated, so you can't quite tell who is who. But as you open up the door, you see 4 people. You see what looks to be the captain, kind of standing, kind of like hands on hips, maybe just puffing out his chest just a hair, kind of mid conversation with Allison, Emily, and David. The other Krauses that are not talking to Gertrude. Basically, the second you walk in, they all kind of like stop and look because they weren't really expecting anybody. And the butler, who I guess we named Reggie, walks forward. Look what wash upon the shore. I have Edie and her eclectic group of friends. Kind of just takes an about face. Good evening, ma'am. Try not to dirty anything else. Wash your hands after the bathroom. You know how adults act, don't you, Edie?
I know all too splendidly well. I smile and ash on the floor near him again as I walk onto the main door.
Give my best to your husband. Yeah, he has. He like, as any vampire, he has to then now stop it what he's doing to collect your ash. So he bends down, and you enter into the scene. You see, honestly, a true blue look of surprise on Allison Krause's face, because like your friendship has long been dead and buried, but decorum, you can tell decorum requires her to act in this moment. Edie, it has been so long. Just practice platitude. Just like, it is
Allison,
so
how
good
have
to
you
see you've aged so well. You're so gracefully. Oh my!
You like fine wine? What lovely you've decorated this yacht. What model is this, might I ask? Do you know off the top of your head? Or was that more Albert's hobby?
It was poor Albie's hobby. A ship is a ship, a boat, whatever. He used to get cross whenever I called it a boat. He said it would be a ship, and we'd get a little kiss afterwards because he's always so mean.
He was very cute when he was angry, wasn't he, Alfred?
Oh, and he was just angry all the time.
Yes,
But I
I
don't
noticed.
know. It's been so long. I don't know if you've had a chance since they have grown. I know Sarah's somewhere around here, probably sobbing. Relationship issues. You know how it is. This is David, artiste extraordinaire, and this is Emily.
I'm sure
She's
it's
doing
not-
something on a MacBook. She doesn't seem to know how to do anything off of one.
Children these days, grown up
Yes.
to their computers. I just understand that so well.
And this is our illustrious captain, Curly. I believe he is a Brindlewood Bay native, and he's taking us up here on a yacht trip just to see what things are. Curly, what? Have you ever met Edie? They're from the same town, right? You must have met each other. Well, I don't know if I recognize you specifically, but It's nice to meet you.
Would not have forgotten such a charming face and name. So I don't believe we've had the pleasure.
The pleasure is all mine. Kind of takes his hand out and shakes, or for like a handshake.
You're the very sort of limp fish, like,
Oh yeah,
you will receive me.
That's a good one. Okay, yeah. Well, according, I don't know, you must have heard why we're here. My employer, Albert, I guess, has been found deceased on shore. And we're just to pieces over here trying to figure out. We're trying, currently, I don't know if you know the sheriff. You're local around here. You probably do stuff. I don't know the sheriff, but they're trying to keep us here, and we're trying to get back to New York. We're trying to get the body. Do you think you grease the skids at all so we can actually kind of get out of here?
Oh, what is the hurry? It's the evening. Are you trying to take dear Albert back to New York post haste? What? For what endeavor?
I'm gonna be honest here. I don't have a lot of faith in the current constabulary. I've never, I grew up here, and you could basically pull one over on the sheriff real easy. And I don't know if you know, but it's like kind of a local thing where there's like this group of like murder mavens, they call them in the news, that kind of like muddle into murder mysteries and stuff, and like big news. We just don't want the family to get all mucked up in that, so if you know the sheriff, and you can see as he says that he's maybe putting two and two together, seeing all these old ladies enter mostly unannounced. Wait,
there's a slow smile that's spread on Edie's face and goes, yes, the meddlesome murder mavens, and why would you be trying to flee from them if you had nothing to hide?
Well, I mean, you're not. You're like Facebook famous. You're like, I'm not. We want like an actual investigator to figure out who killed the boss, right, Miss Allison? Of course, yes. Just so rustic out here. I know you do the best, but Edie, in a world of murder mystery. Where you're the top crew for solving murder mysteries, I think we should go back home. And that's not, I'm going to be honest with you, Edie, that's not even a dig at you. You can smoke cigarettes and drink a whiskey with the best of them, and you can play cribbage well, but I just don't believe that when you solving murders, that's so outlandish. Is it like a Facebook famous? So you're on Facebook? That's crazy.
Oh, I think one of my children made me a Facebook account some time ago, but at this rate, retirement has been, as you said, quaint. I think the occasional murder mystery is a lovely and charming way to pass the time, don't you think? How coincidental that you happen to be caught up in this one.
Yeah, as you're kind of like having this back and forth, you hear some like rapid fire tapping on a keyboard, and behind you hear, holy shit, they have like 500,000 followers. That's a lot. You guys are like Facebook famous.
And yeah, you just, everyone hears Edie draw, yes, the woes of celebrity. And
Emily was the one pouting up at that point. Yeah,
Edie is trying to like signal behind her back to the others, like while she continues to keep like Allison and the family wrapped up in the social, like trapping them with social graces. She's trying to get the others to like fan out and look around.
Okay. So in this moment, as Edie is kind of is in a war of words, to say a quarrelsome a duel with the matriarch of the family and distracting the rest. Does anybody else want to do anything? Meddle, if you will. You can also maybe peel off another member and try and talk to them. That's also meddling.
Can I want to pretend to get a phone call, or maybe even actually get a phone call from my son, and so I can go and slip off. Oh, sorry, I gotta take this. I'll be right back. And so I can like head off, and I want to go find, like, I want to go to like the kitchen and find some staff. I want to talk to not the family and not the.
Okay.
I think the kitchen might be best because I'm I used to run a public access cooking show, and maybe they might recognize me, and like I can woo them a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. I'll say this happens. You're very easily slip off. We'll save your phone call. We'll save that for because there will inevitably be a meddling roll that comes forward. Well, I guess let me ask you a question. Do you want your meddling to come from an interaction from a person or finding something as you basically go to the kitchen?
Information from a person.
Okay. So you don't burn your thing just yet. But yeah, you kind of fake a call, walking away, and then make a quick dart to the right as you're going into what you can only assume is like the deeper like belly of this ship, trying to find like some service staff or something like that. You walk into the kitchen. It is bigger than the kitchen you have in your own house, and it is way more well appointed. And you can say there's all sorts of fresh fish in here, lots of fresh veg. And as you're kind of snooping around, you hear behind you, "May I help you, ma'am? Are you looking for the bathroom, perhaps?"
Oh, I was looking for a snack. I got a bit peckish. Do you have any...
Canapé is like out of almost nowhere, just a small platter of canapés.
Oh, that hurt my stomach's a little sensitive. Do you have something else?
I don't have any potato chips, if that's some pretzels. We could do a crudité. Are you aware of what a crudité is? It's like carrots and stuff, yes.
Yes, that would be
I hate to
perfect.
scare... I don't want to scare you with any strange words.
Oh, you don't know, do you? Oh, it's okay. Better when you don't.
And then kind of reaches into the cold storage, which is probably its own like walk-in freezer, and it comes back out with an immaculate tray of crudité and cheeses and like little meats.
So, were you here when it happened?
When what happened, ma'am?
Did you hear what happened to...
Oh, yes, when the master of the household went overboard. It's so sad. I'm to pieces, if you will.
You don't look it.
It is a butler's duty to keep it together. But
That's-
everybody else cannot.
But it's just... Here, and you look a little peckish too, and I try and hand him one.
He takes it and just like, yeah.
No.
And then just kind of disappears. Just like, oh yes, it's so delicious. You don't hear any crunching as it kind of disappears from view. He might be a vampire. You never know.
Might be a vampire.
Might be a vampire.
What?
Gives off that vibe.
Did any other weird things happen last night?
Well,
Or earlier?
weird happenstance is what to call this place when young David is doing his debauchery and young Emily stay up till 5 in the morning playing Overwatch and constantly bequeathing and asking for snacks and Japanese pleasantries of which I have little knowledge. You ever heard of a bento box? Not have I.
Ooh, those are lovely. You should try it sometime.
Why in a box? Why is a box important? Why not just a plate? This is
A lunchbox. It's a lunchbox.
This is so plebeian.
You should try it sometime. You might like it.
I won't. I don't like much. As you're kind of having this conversation, make a, because I'm going to assume you're like looking around a bit,
mhm.
trying to prod in conversation. Make a meddling roll.
Can I use presence to like
Yes,
charm them?
this would be a perfect opportunity for presence.
Ooh, 10 plus 2, 12.
12. You're also gonna get a void clue, which kind of makes this funny. Let's see.
Hope the void clue is just him drinking blood.
Honestly, it's not bad. Yes, we were all just torn to pieces when we heard Master Albert fell overboard.
Mm-hmm.
Which was surmised by Dalrymple, but you heard Dalrymple say that nobody saw him. He just appeared on shore. They assume it's an accident. He's basically saying that there's maybe a slight incongruity between what he has heard and what the official story is.
So you saw what happened?
Oh no, I was busy trying to stop young David from defacing the side of the boat. He has heard of a young artiste that called Banksy, and he is trying to replicate his work, which, as far as I can tell, is defecating on the side of the boat with a spray can.
That's
You know how hard it is to scrape. You know how hard it is to remove spray paint from a yacht's surface. It's fiberglass.
I don't think I've had the privilege.
Easy. It scuffs easy. Scuffs.
Well, how did you hear he fell overboard?
Oh, well. I guess that's what I assumed. I suppose, I think the story that was told by the lady of the house was that he was going for a swim or some such. But he was a strong swimmer, Mr. Albert. He swam every day. I don't believe he would have made it to shore if there wasn't something that happened to him. There must have been an accident, of course. And then, for the void clue, just for a half second, you see him, smile, and that dude has, weird, sharp teeth.
Oh. Thank you, so much. And, just make sure you eat too. You look a little pale and peckish.
Oh, yes. I like to eat late at night. Don't worry about me. Now, Miss Allison said that she would like a Bloody Mary. I can trust that you can make your way back to the living room without chaperonage.
Yeah, as long as you make it 2 Bloody Marys.
Fine.
Thank you.
I'll get the zing-zang. Excuse me! So he kind of makes an abrupt turn. Are you going back to the living room, or are you going to try and muck about a bit and see if there's anything else in some of these other rooms back here?
No, I'll go back to the living room. Back to the room.
We're going to shift to somebody else. So, some people that we have not focused on right now is Maud. Maud, investigative journalist extraordinaire. What is Maud doing in this moment?
I think that I'm a little suspicious of our bumbling sheriff. It's very much giving Scotland Yard and Sherlock Holmes, as it were. And I'd like to, while my beloved friend Edie distracts or runs distraction for me, I'm going to go take a look at the rest of the ship. And while I do so, Maud is dressed with just very, very strange assortment of different clothes. So cargo pants held up with suspenders, a button-up shirt, but she also has a leather holster, where you would keep a firearm. But where instead of a gun,
a camera. Yeah, I've seen those
she has
actually.
a camera there, and there's a little white snowy terrier keychain on the camera. So
Nice.
she affixes her lens and makes elsewhere on the boat to see what the sheriff is exactly up to, or if they are in fact just splurging on hors d'oeuvres.
All right. Let's see. To summarize your action of trying to track down the sheriff, this boat is pretty large. We're going to make a day move. Honestly, any stat that you'd like would probably work in this. We could flavor it any which way, but I guess what would be your fear in this large boat all by your lonesome, walking around trying to find somebody?
Maud's fear in this immediate instance might be that the would-be killer, whoever they are, is still somewhere on this boat, and might be just, people we've interacted with so far, people who we'd be talking to, but Maud would personally be afraid of being caught alone, as that's what happened with that's what Maud suspects happened with Large March not too long ago.
Gotcha. No, that's fair. Yeah, it seems like this murder mystery person is trying to maybe pick y'all off when you are at your most vulnerable. So that is a fair fear. Go ahead and roll.
I'm gonna roll presence. I think it's just trying to
This is how
the way. Yeah.
We'll flavor it with how you're exiting to make it seem like you're basically coming up with a good lie for people to basically not even care where you're going in this moment.
It's like the way, she's a journalist. She's like taking pictures, and it's like, cool, I'm getting coverage, but I'm in the background. So what I'm doing, and I'm there, but I'm part of the scenery. So I rolled a 7.
7 it's not the worst thing. I think 7 is a mixed success, so there's going to be a complication here.
We do have a reroll and an automatic success, and only 45 minutes left.
Reroll?
That is fair. However, a complication does seem more interesting.
Complications are fun.
Like that the camera zoomed in when you said that.
Yeah, zoom
I
in
have
dramatic.
no control over this thing.
So how these day moves work is I'm going to tell you how this action will leave you vulnerable. Fill in the details. You get to choose if you back down or go forward. And if you go through with it, I'm going to describe what it looks like. So your fear is that you're going to be left alone and that the killer might have their eyes on you. I'm going to confirm that. The murderer will be watching you. They will notice you leave and will be suspicious and may act upon that. Do you still wish to continue?
Odds a lot of things. She ain't no quitter.
All right, you keep on going. You see, to your belief, have faded into the background and are attempting to find Sheriff Dalrymple. I'm going to say you hear some rustling. You're kind of going in the opposite direction of what was it? Edie? It was, I'm blanking on the name. Opal. You went the opposite direction that Opal went. So you end up going down what looks to be more like living quarters. It's like personal rooms, little side rooms, entertainment rooms. You approach what kind of, at least from the angle you're at, looks like an office. You see effectively like a little library in there, a big table. You hear some rustling and some rummaging, and you can hear Dalrymple's voice. Well, there's got to be a clue in here somewhere. Every time I stumble upon those mavens, they're always rumbling through stuff. Why I can't find anything when it's my turn. But behind you, you also hear a slamming of a door. It catches you off guard. It's very loud and very abrupt.
Maud jumps and mid-air loads the film camera, pulls back the reel so that she's ready to take a shot, and I turn around, flash ready.
Nothing. There's a door that you entered in slammed. So there was maybe an access door and just kind of, And then Dalrymple, his head shoots out. Who's there? He's got his gun in his hand. Oh,
It's
my!
just me.
What? I didn't. I'm just investigating down here. You want to come in here?
Yeah, just wanted to see what our brave sheriff was up to.
He kind of brings you in, and it is, I mean, for regular human purposes, a very elaborate looking library, very ostentatious. A lot of gold filigree, a lot of gold plating, and you can see that Dalrymple is basically opened up a few of the drawers and is like actively going through things. There was one of those like big like one of those like big cardboard boxes like with files in it that he has kind of started to open and go through. I can't make heads or tails of it. Just a bunch of stuff in here. I don't even know, something about a warrior's ball. Who cares about a warrior's ball? Is it just like a single ball, two balls? Is it one of those fancy things for a dance? I can't make heads or tails. Does any of this make sense to you?
Warrior's Ball. How would that be relevant to the current matter at hand, do you wonder?
Oh, well, I don't know. That's why I'm asking. It doesn't seem to be important, but you never know.
Warrior's Ball. No, I can't. I can't really put a figure to that. No. I wonder if they have any of those nude statues somewhere on the boat. Maybe they go there.
You're right. I'm gonna go check. And he kind of starts to go. He starts to exit. Don't touch anything. Well, actually, put everything back, but don't touch anything. And he kind of leaves. The room is more or less to your beck and call. What would you like to do in this space? There's a computer on the desk. There's a bunch of files, all that stuff, a bunch of books.
Crap, who has the note that had the number on it? Was that Large Marge?
Large Marge.
I'm gonna go over to the computer and I want to see if there's a, like, is it like unlocked? Can I log in?
I'm gonna say, yeah, it is not locked, because most old people, I know this from experience with my grandma, aren't good at remembering passwords and stuff, so they tend to leave things unlocked all the time. So it's just an open computer. None of these drawers have locks. You'd assume that they just expect to be, this is a very private space and nobody would be on board that was looking for anything.
All right, I'm gonna go look around and I'm gonna look for any sort of like list of names, any sort of like account number type things, just like anywhere in the file system of the computer, or like if there's just files open on the desk, just among the papers.
This sounds like a meddling move. So feel free if you want to throw in an item to juice this up and paint how you're doing this a bit. But roll 2d6s and we'll see if you find something.
Let's see. That's a 2.
A 2 is a pretty big failure. Would you like to use the reroll?
The reroll, yeah. Well, hey, that's better. That's a 9.
9, and then what? I guess stat were you going to use, or Jordy's calculate that in?
I think reason, which is 0.
Goose egg. So 9, still pretty decent. It just means there's going to be a complication. You start rummaging through things. You start looking at the computer files. You're trying to find some kind of connecting dot to some of the other clues that you've already found. You find in a red envelope what looks to be a letter from a young military vet. It is very obvious that this was handwritten, but this is a scan of it. Like maybe, and then we'll say, just to make this even more clear, on the cover of this red letter, you notice the address of a very popular private detective agency that you've probably had run-ins with the past in previous seasons. Well, this is like, the Pinkertons of the rich and famous in the 80s, if that makes sense. And
I
this
think I
looked
think
like
I think Maud audibly says a callback.
a callback. This love letter seems to be just saturated with sexual energy of the 90s. So they're talking about a lot of caressing and a lot of nuzzling, and I just can't wait to kiss you on the lips, that sort of thing. The problem is, and it makes reference to something called the Warriors Ball, which is, you would know what it is. It is a semi-regular event that is held every year, that is a big fundraiser for military vets that have lost testicles in wartime. It's a bit of a gnome to get. It's a bit of a misnomer because of the Warriors Ball, and their whole purpose is basically to buy prosthetics for those that have lost one of their balls in war. It's that this is connected to one of the scandals you've heard about for the Krauses. This is like the most meandering, kind of unnecessary, like, way to get money for a charity that only really exists on paper. Like Wounded Warrior stuff, where like 90% of the money that was coming in was going to pay the people that worked at Wounded Warrior, and only 10% was actually getting, used. This is very similar, where most of the money is going into the pockets of the organizers. Very little is actually going to prosthetic testicles. But every time somebody tries to investigate this, it tends to go away. This love letter seems like they do actually at least interface with some of these wounded vets, and this love letter is between, his name doesn't really matter, but it is whom it's to, which is Allison Kraus.
Spicy.
Spicy indeed.
I am going to photograph this letter and then fold it up and return it to where I found it.
Nice. All right. Does anybody, and we'll say, and because we'll talk about complication now. The complication comes in the form that as your back is turned to the door, unbeknownst to you, a figure walks behind you, and the camera pans to the shine of a blade. I would like you to make a night roll as you are about to be attacked by the killer.
Boy. That's an 11.
Oh, an 11. To make this even more interesting, it's not something that you did. Or not even necessarily. You nudge something accidentally, which we'll say it's like basically a bust of Albert Krause's head. It falls down, cracks really hard, and then as the killer is about to like ramp up, you hear Dalrymple. Well, actually, I don't want to negate Dalrymple's potential murderer. So who would this be? You can hear Edie getting to the crescendo of a story in the other room. And where even is Maud? Have you heard this story about Maud? Maud, dear. And then as you're about to turn, like you quickly turn to kind of go about, and then you just see the tail end of somebody running off. Like they just got that just swift interruption of a moment of attack that they were looking for. It was just ruined by a hair's breadth, but you're pretty sure the killer was just like right there watching you.
Well, Maud's style is speed walking, so we're gonna speed walk after him.
So you speed walk. All right. We're gonna shuffle back around. Large Marge. It's been a while since we've been with Large Marge. What's going on?
Who on our suspect list for the party have we not talked to?
There has not been a direct conversation with Emily Kraus, David Kraus. Captain Curly has spoken a little bit, and that's about it. You've talked to everybody else that's on the list.
Emily is the iPad kid, right?
Emily is iPad kid, who seems to be like, intensely typing away, wearing all black clothing, which is a little strange for like a 14-year-old. Looks like they just watched The Matrix, like from the 90s. This is very like a 90s version of what a hacker would be. So we'll even say like, how do we paint this even more? Like pixie cut. They're like the shirt that she's wearing it's just got like a bunch of like math jokes on it and like programming speak. Like, are you even leet or something like that?
I'm gonna walk up to Emily and say, "You look like you like the '90s, kid."
The 90s were like a really cool time. So they had respect for hacktivists and people like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
very cool, very cool.
Could you
want
not smoke? Secondhand smoke kills.
I don't even have a cigarette in my hand. I literally don't. My hands are crossed.
You
I'm
just
sorry.
sorry, you just smell like a cigarette. I just assumed you were smoking. That's crazy. You should quit.
I'm working on it, but
Are you like a pack a minute smoker? Wow.
that'd be pretty intense. But no, not me. No, I just wanted to come over here and talk about the '90s with you, and maybe see what the kids are up to nowadays.
Oh well, we're very into like breaking the vicious cycle that your generation created.
Yeah, we
Boomer.
kind of suck, kid. Zoomer.
Like really surprised that you admitted that you suck, because you could tell she like constantly telling her parents that they suck, and they're like, no we don't. So hey, you know that you suck? What? You just say you sucked. Why would you agree to that?
Well, because look around at everything that's happening. It's a shit show. Sorry, I shouldn't curse in front of a child. It's just the world's on fire. And I'm sorry to hear about the passing of your father.
It's whatever. Like, we weren't close.
I'm
Which is a
sorry to
wild
hear
thing for a
that.
12-year-old to say about their dad.
Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. Oh,
Yeah, it's fine. Like, honestly, he was kind of a bad guy. I don't know if you read like the news, but yeah, not a great time for New York financiers.
yeah, I was hearing about that. Ah, geez, it's a shame what had happened.
No, yeah, it's my Emily is coming off a little John H. Benjamin.
Yeah, Bob Belcher, right here.
I wasn't going there, but I guess I was just trying to go like little nerd voice. But no, I mean, my dad had his fingers on a lot of different people's pies, financially speaking, and they were mostly illegitimate for the most part. So I guess like I'm supposed to feel bad because he was my dad, but like, I only interactions with him were like at dinner when he was yelling at my mom. So it's like, I guess dinners are gonna be more quiet now. Wow, gonna miss that, I guess.
Honey, do you need a hug?
I don't like physical touch.
Yeah,
so
no problem.
I'm kind of against it. And then just continue like as fully like talking to you, still typing on this keyboard.
Oh, what are you typing there?
Well, it's a little complicated. Have you heard of Bank of America?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, just moving money around.
You're moving money around at the ripe old age of 14. That is nuts.
Well, I mean, it's not my money, but it's like I let's just say that Bank of America is making a donation to various left-leaning organizations across America right now, like pro-abortion, all that stuff. It's pretty cool.
You know what, kid? I'm giving you a mental hug right now. Just incredible work. Keep it up.
Yeah, of course. As you're having this conversation, you seem to have reached some level of trust. Make a meddling roll to see if anything gets let slip.
Okay. I'm gonna do it with my chatty Cathy one. That's a 5 and a 4 plus 2 for 11.
11. That is 100% a success. 30 minutes warning. Yeah, I mean, it was. I'm glad I didn't get here. It was like really crazy loud, like just before you got here. So you guys really quieted it down. Like my brother and my mom were arguing something about getting a story straight and stuff. Like it's like, who cares?
Oh, yeah, it's just family drama can be the worst. Boy.
So that's a clue.
Yes.
David and Alice. Sorry, not for the audience. That is a clue. There is a disagreement about getting a story straight between two family members.
Well, honey, if there's anything that you want to talk about, I'm here for you. But I know that I'm really cramping your style, and I know that I reek of the cigarettes. So if you want, I can get out of your hair.
No, yeah. Do you know? Wait, I do know. Do you know who Etienne is?
I do, yeah.
Do you have any idea why my dad might have paid him $250,000?
He's a funny man, a fishy guy. I'm not really sure, but let me talk to the Mavens.
Yeah, it's just weird. I'm going through just going through some of these bank statements also, and it's just like my dad throws cash around quite a bit, but like that's a lot of fish.
250,000. Okay. Well, thank you, honey. It was great talking to you, and I'm sorry that this is how you had to get your quiet dinners.
Hey, more spaghetti and meatballs for me, thank you.
All right. Take it easy, kiddo. And I'm gonna get the fuck out. That what an interestingly weird and awfully sad little conversation I've just had. I need to spout to the nearest Maven, the 250,000 ETN, and also the David and Mom were discoursing.
All right. So who? It's been a while since we have talked with Edie and done what Edie. Well, I guess Rudy and Edie. Who I guess longest technically would be Rudy. Maybe we'll do Rudy, and then we'll kind of a meet back up moment to discuss a few things. So, Rudy, you have been. We're gonna roll back time a little bit. You've been consoling Sarah. Do you think you've been doing a particularly good job, or like you kind of got her calmed down, or she's still just like,
Oh no,
being hit hard?
she's calmed down. She is. I'm technically her mother. She knows this.
Yeah, so you've got her calmed down. You got her a glass of water, all that stuff. The creepy butler's nowhere near. You getting talked to. So, like, I guess how do you broach the subject of all of this?
Well, I mean, hold on, clear. Sarah, my dear. Look, I know all things, as tumultuous as they are, will always at some point pass. I've outlived bad fashion, bad days, and bad men. And I think at this point, it's important for you to reclaim your life, your future, and your time.
Can I just say, Gertrude, that I really needed to hear that? It's been just so tough recently, and I don't know if you've noticed that anything about my family, but they are not warm shoulders to cry on. I think my mom just kept on saying, have another drink when I was crying earlier, and I don't want to get drunk. I just want to feel my feelings.
And what about the rest of your family? How are they feeling about, like, lean my head down,
Yeah.
about your dear father? How are they responding?
This is a classic meddling move.
Yeah,
Go ahead and roll a meddling move here.
Yeah, does any of my items matter here? No. All right. That's 1 plus 4, 5 plus 3, 8.
8 is a mixed success. You can also wear a crown
I'm wearing a
if you want
crown.
to bump it up. All right, so which crown are you going to choose? You can choose any which of these you would like, because all of them are available to you. But you just have to basically, it's a quick vignette, basically all up to you to kind of describe what's happening in the scene.
The crown of the queen, right?
Yeah, Crown of the Queen.
I'm gonna do the fondest memory of one of my children.
Oh, okay, yeah. So there's a quick moment, and this is probably like how you specifically console Sarah. You have a quick flashback to, I guess it's your choice. So you feel free to paint the scene.
I do think I most likely I was consoling Beatrice, my second child, my oldest daughter, because she was determined to try to like do sports, but she wanted to work out and like bodybuild, but everybody else was like, "You're a woman, don't try to be muscly." And I was like, "Listen, everything is beautiful as long as you feel that you're beauty, because elegance is just confidence decorated." That she then became one of the greatest bodybuilders in her like category, because beauty is what you hold on the inside.
Nice. No, I think that's good. Like in this sympathetic moment where you really opened yourself up to somebody's like fears and anxieties, you kind of dig deep. And even though you maybe haven't talked to Sarah in a really long time, you kind of open yourself up to that form of empathy as well, which maybe in a lot of these investigations you close off so you can like remain,
the queen.
Remain the queen, just kind of keep that distance that a true blue observer investigator needs to be successful. So you crack that a little bit. So it goes from a mixed success to just a plain old regular success. I'll say, let's look at these clues. A lot of clues on here. Well, I'm going to be honest, Gertrude. I feel like I'm the only person that's upset at all at Papa's murder. I heard some back and forth. I mean, Mama could care less. David thinks that this is some, an opportunity for some avant-garde art to be formed. Emily could care less. She's just stuck in her computer. And of course, all the help could give a crap. The paychecks were still clear. But one thing I did think was a little weird is that not too long before it happened, I heard an argument between Mama and Papa. Something about a paternity test. It doesn't make any sense. Some documents have recently been accrued that puts somebody's paternity in question, but obviously we all look alike. We have to be from the same. I don't know whose paternity it could be.
Out of curiosity, do they all actually look alike?
I mean, like, no, not really.
But
So,
I mean,
like, Allison is like Allison beach blonde, Albert beach blonde, Sarah bleach blonde, but like David and Emily do not. They have like darker hair, slightly different complexions. Like, I mean, not like beyond disbelief or anything
Okay.
like that, but they don't really share that much of like a family resemblance.
What color is Etienne's hair?
Dark hair.
And if I remember, David is this. Who's older, Sarah or David?
So it goes Sarah, David, Emily.
Okay. And David and Emily are the two that have darker hair.
Yes.
Okay. Jaden's processing this.
Yeah.
And Gertrude is being like, there.
We'll say around this time, because Maud had taken a picture, probably sent it to the group chat, all that stuff. There's probably, at least because we have about 20 minutes left in the game, there's probably an inkling that it's time to like come together, share whatever clues that we have found, and move, and like maybe make our accusation.
I would like to ask Sarah to gather her family.
Okay, getting everybody in one place.
I have a flair for dramatics, so I'm
flair for the dramatique. Love it. That happens. Before we actually move to that phase, does anybody have any last things they want to do before we kind of get to that theorize place? Because the theorize, I want to make sure we have enough time, because it's basically a free-balling discussion between all of you trying to loop all of these clues together, and then you're going to point the finger at a person, and then you're going to roll. Or one person's going to roll. So any last low-hanging fruit that anybody wants to do before we go to that moment?
My low-hanging fruit is, does the critical success that we still have banked count for
It
this?
could. Yeah, I was going to say it could. For charity, yes.
For charity.
For
yeah, whoever
charity.
we accuse, they did it.
Yeah, well, yeah, if you succeed, that they did it, and that is also how they did it, exactly as you described.
I
All right.
hope y'all have it pieced together better than I do. Because it's going to be funky.
I want a review of the clues, but wait till like we do the last scene of whoever's getting clues, because
Yeah, so the family begins to group together. You all huddle together. Dairy Rimple appears. The butler appears. Captain Curly appears. And then, so just to preface, and we want to go through all the clues that we have discovered so far.
Yes.
You found a piece of paper in the back pocket of Albert Kraus. Basically, it was a big list for an event that got crossed out. One of the names. The next clue was, I believe,
it's a wedding anniversary, but
the wedding anniversary.
Sarah and Tori are having trouble in paradise.
Yes. Then the next clue I want to say was the seeming account number that you found on the piece of paper. And then so that's 3. What was the next one?
Tori did bad business with Albert, is what I have.
Same.
Bad business with Albert.
Hmm?
And then what's next?
I have
if you got them
fish
written
down. I don't know if void clues.
Fish came up twice.
Yeah, fish. I wrote it down.
Oh yeah, we have 2 void clues for the fish.
Void clues are really hard to loop into normal murder mysteries. They're for like a more overarching, like, hey, there's like a weird, like, Cthulhu-esque conspiracy happening in town. If you can loop them in, sure, but if you can't,
so we have mutant fish times 2.
Mutant fish times 2.
And then
Tien got paid a lot of money.
Yeah, 250,000.
What was the clue I found again talking to the cook?
Oh man. You were talking to the butler. He said that there was a slight he said that the Albert fell over, and the current story was that he just happened to like drown and wash up on shore.
But he can swim.
You got kind of, the belief is that maybe he went swimming. But he said specifically pushed over, and then also said that Albert was an incredibly strong swimmer.
The 2 separate clues, or is that one big clue?
I guess kind of one big clue.
Okay.
And then we also got a clue that there was a detective agency that found a love letter between the matriarch of the family and one of the people they helped at the Warriors Ball.
And then we have David and Allison talking about getting the story straight.
Yep.
And then we have the paternity test.
Paternity test. How many clues do you have there? What's the total?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 regular and 2 void clues.
9 regular. So the complexity of this case is 6. Whatever you roll will have a +3 because you have additional clues.
Okay.
So how do y'all want to try and loop these together? You have 15 minutes. We'll say 10 minutes to figure it out how you want to loop it together.
I have been doing the yarn on the cork board using my computer, just so everyone knows, because I read murder mysteries so often.
Awesome.
So I can go with my thoughts, and then everyone else can, unless someone wants to start us off.
I just want
My
to say
thought
that,
is
no, go on.
Sarah's husband did it, but that's just my gut, and I'm not entirely sure why.
I have
think
the wackier conspiracy version of that is that he used Alfred's account or asked Emily to hack Alfred's account to pay Etienne to hide the body afterwards. And also that he is actually the person from the Warriors Ball who is trying to have an affair with Allison, which is why the relationship between Sarah and Tori is souring.
I think mine's even wackier. I just want that to be.
Let's
go wackier.
Let's go
I wanna-
wackier.
I want to throw something out here. I think possibly that it's a case of the butler did it because this is a
He's a
crime
vampire.
show that we're doing, right?
Mhm.
The sheriff pulled a novel off of a shelf earlier when they came to come get us to investigate this, saying, "Yeah, I remember this novel. The butler did it in this one."
Mhm.
And we know that the butler is a little bit scuffed. The butler may have subsumed funds from the guy to have him killed, and then also had Etienne pay to like hide the body, to like be there and drown him. So it might be a case of the butler doing it, but that doesn't answer the question of the affair.
Okay. Yo, are you ready for my bad
We gotta
shit?
go crazy.
Yeah, no.
So here's mine. They all did it except for Sarah.
All did it.
They all did it.
They all wanted him out of the way because Etienne is technically the biological father and Allison loves him. And if the dad's out of the way and the money's paid, they can take all the money and live their life. And David's the one who specifically pushed him over the edge because he found out that his dad was not his actual dad. And because of that, they just basically made this whole ploy to have him accidentally wash up. And that's why no one reported it, because they're like, oh, he just went for a swim. That's why David and Allison are trying to get their story straight. Emily doesn't care that much. She's hacking and double checking the money to make sure everything goes the right place. But Sarah's the only one who has an emotional response to everything. And she's the one that's been out of this loop because she would be the one that couldn't handle this. So they're keeping her in the dark of the whole situation. Even the butler knows. And that's why he's particularly made sure that everything was nice and clean and ensuring that everybody's stories are all tied up, which covers all our clues.
What the fuck?
I like that a lot.
That's so good. Is there any way we can work the
The
butler
group
and
did it? I
vampire
love
into
it.
Well, that's right. And it's like everything kind of rose in that. Even Tori, the reason that Tori is involved in that whole situation is that he had originally found out about the fact that they weren't the dad, that Albert wasn't the dad or whatever circumstances, and the bad business started to break apart, and so they ostracized him and made him leave so that he couldn't do anything about it. Because he was going to tell Sarah, and again, you got to keep Sarah in the dark because she's the good one of them.
Juicy, juicy, juicy.
Because Emily made a point that everyone else seems to not care, and that's using every clue. That's my batshit theory.
And even one that wasn't necessarily a clue. The David on the outside scraping stuff up.
Yep.
I have nothing to add.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I like that. I like the family
I
did
will
it.
say,
I can't top that.
It's
Yeah.
elegant.
for the viewers, this is your last opportunity, I think, to throw anything at our players, like big flashback scenes, or anything of the life. So I'll give everybody a minute, or one last chance at a murderer's POV before we cinch this this caper up.
I can also add to the void clues because
The
I can't add the void clues because again, I'm Charlie Day with the cork board. The void calls to the things that are about the death and the things that are despair. So obviously, the mutant fish mutating twice means that Etienne is doubly connected in two different ways, which means he is orchestrating, coordinating, planning, and collaborating in many ways because he's the one who received the money and so on. So the void fish is because of the lingering fact that he's been unable to be the parent to his kid for well over a decade while being at a distance. That level of despair creates a call of the void.
Who's to say? We'll have to figure out what the roles. All right, last call for any of these cool donation things that we could do.
I would like to take a moment to nominate Jaden to be able to do the role.
Yeah, no, that makes so
for
much sense.
Yeah.
All right, last call. We're going and gone. All right, Jaden. all comes down to this. You do have an automatic crit, but I do think it is fun to roll it first.
I'm gonna roll.
Just we're all fresh on Theorize. When the Mavens have an open freewheeling discussion, which we just had. They reach a consensus, which we just did. Roll plus the number of clues incorporated in theory, otherwise explained minus the mystery's complexity. The complexity of this mystery is a 6. We have 9 clues. That means you get to roll with a +3. So on a 10 plus, it's the correct solution. The keeper, myself, the Granny Master, will present an opportunity to take down the culprit or otherwise save the day. On a 7 or 9, it's the correct solution, but it's going to be a little more complicated. There's going to be an unwelcome complication to the solution itself, or present as a complicated or dangerous opportunity to take down the culprit. It's not just going to be like you catch them red-handed and everybody freeze frames. It's like you're going to have to chase them down or stop them in some way. On a 6, the solution is incorrect, and then I react. And of course, on a 12 plus, this person is involved in the dark conspiracy of Brindlewood Bay and reveals what might be going on behind the scenes to the Mavens a bit. So, Jaden, will you please roll some bones?
Okay. We're gonna roll these two and see what happens. That's not bad. That's a 6 and a 3.
6 and 3 is a 9, plus the 3 is a 12. So like you hit the 12, you hit a crit right off the bat. So to paint this scene, so to just kind of recap what previously happened, you'd all kind of group messaged each other. We should meet up, theorize, figure out how we're gonna like what exactly happened here. And you had told Sarah to basically gather the family and the crew together. They're all gathered in that singular, like kind of like family room, kind of like greeting room that's in the center of the ship, all kind of sitting together, looking very much like a Baroque painting. You all enter, and we can do this in character if you'd like, because Jaden, I think you kind of put it together. So maybe this is Gertrude's like big opportunity to kind of like do a spiel, a la really any detective in murder mystery novel, where they kind of like, well, anyway, what I think happened is, so we'll set that scene. You guys enter into a room. They're all sitting there kind of waiting for your, for whatever reason they were brought here for. They all look a little suspicious.
Okay. And then just so I can make sure I clarify the key part of the theory is that with all that happened, the official murderer though was specifically David, who's the one who pushed his dad. It's like everybody else is all tied to so many things, but David ultimately was the one who pushed. And then, as long as everyone's okay with that theory, that
for sure.
That part.
And then just even for extra effect, we'll say that because Etienne is part of this mystery somehow, that you got Dalrymple to go fetch Etienne. So he is also present. So literally everybody is here. So you can kind of like literally walk person to person to connect the dots if you wanted to.
Oh, damn. Okay. I'm about to try to get in my full Gertrude performance mode to try to Benoit Blanc this, and I'm...
Yeah. Well, I'm just a simple country detective.
Okay. So, hello, Cross. It is, I will say, is delighted to have attended this soiree of yours. As I then will also get like a quick tissue to give to Sarah. You'll need this. So, I assume we can start off with, I think, the easiest part of the complications. We know that Albert is no longer with us, and Albert died seemingly by drowning. Although Albert is an excellent swimmer, I believe he goes to water aerobics class quite often, even. For a man like that, it would be hard for that person to drown, so we believe definitively it's been a murder that has taken place on the Regal Lady.
Well, that's preposterous, Allison kind of speaks. Albert, strong swimmer.
Will you let her finish?
Oh, okay.
I understand that you have the doubt of it, Allison, because you know who killed Albert. Because that individual told you they did it. And then you had to speak with them to ensure the story was held straight.
That's preposterous. Preposterous.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, a mother would want to protect her child, no? As I take that moment to like I take in the gasps of like, I'm like, yes, let me feed on this. Now, now, of course, Albert was not the best of men, and he cared deeply for his only child. And I assume it would leave complications to find out that some of the children weren't his. Wouldn't that be right, Allison?
Albert had more than one child, as she kind of like grabs a hold of all of them kind of on the couch. These are all Albert's.
Sarah, yes. But Etienne, wouldn't you like to claim at least proof of one of your children? Or if not this case, multiple?
Merde. Kind of.
I mean, although you have the ability to have multiple different ways of speaking, you are one that I would say has a certain French charm to you, and could be known to write lovely letters, wouldn't you?
Dang it! I know that letter was too much. Dang.
It's okay, Allison. I know that you and Etienne have quite the connection. And then
I don't know what you mean.
Oh, okay. I see that we won't do the admitting part, since I'll just have to get through with it. Albert pays money to Etienne as they know the truth of who the kids are, and Etienne wants to claim that David and Emily would be his child, but that wouldn't work out. And it became particularly a problem when Tori found out the truth and threatened to tell Sarah the truth. But Albert couldn't have that. And whether or not Allison knew particularly that case, that's the part that's still unknown. If you also convinced Tori to separate from Sarah.
Mama, say this is not true. And then Allison kind of just looks at her, just doesn't answer, kind of puts on a stern face and continues to watch you.
And the only other person who knows the truth of their patrilineage found out recently, David, the avant-garde artist. They twice attended Juilliard student. A passion for art. Fury unbound, yes?
It's potent fury. I'd like to impose myself into my art.
And then you obviously want to take the time to confront your father, to confirm some details.
Maybe.
Now the part is, do you want me to say what happens next, or do you want to confess?
I'd like to speak to a lawyer.
You'll need one, especially after an altercation at the edge of the ship. A furious, passionate. Your father never liked your art. He didn't really appreciate what you like to create. Had a little bit of too much force and pushed. After a tussle and a fight, sends him overboard. Unable to come back up.
I didn't mean it. It just happened so fast. His head hit the side of the boat. I didn't mean it.
And then you took the time to try and talk to your mother, and she, of course, does what a mother tries to do. Try to get the story straight, move money around, getting a computer-friendly child to just check some details just to be sure. But what matters is David is our culprit.
I didn't mean it. You see Derry Ripple start to go around. It's all right, son. They'll probably take it easy on you. It was an accident. Kind of starts to, I didn't mean it. And then Allison, well, this will not stand. We'll fight this tooth and nail in court. You have no truth except what these old, dehydrated hags have to say. My son will never see a day in jail. Especially not some kind of country latrine that you probably keep your drunks in here.
I think Edie is just smiling, has lit a cigarette, and going, that anger does not look good on you, my dear.
Shut up, Edie. Nobody liked you or your husband anyway.
Just a shrug, ash on the
Get the hell off my boat.
And they're just kind of like, despite the tension, it's like bows, like I did my part.
Dalrymple
Like Mog
cuffs.
claps. That was an excellent one.
Dalrymple cuffs David, begins to take him off board. You all kind of like have this kind of like final moment of kind of like, we did it. And because the dark conspiracy gets involved, because with a 12 plus, your celebration before the classic freeze frame of you all holding each other and like jumping up in the air or whatever, you feel somebody almost like appear behind you. Excuse me, before you take your leave of the regal lady, I would like to warn you of something. This place, this town, these people, they bear a foul foreboding mark. I know not much of it, but upon Master Albert's conversation with a local group, and their fixation on what I can only call dark material, you should watch yourselves, ladies. I fear for those mentioned in the conversation, and all of your names were brought up. You've become troublesome, vexing. If you wish to continue your long lives, perhaps it's time to be more careful. I'm going to bid you good evening. And that is probably, unless anybody has any hanging like stuff they want to handle, that's probably where we're going to end it for this evening.
I do have the smallest headcanon that in Albert's will, he left all his money specifically to like Sarah, because Sarah would take care of her siblings.
Aww.
Hey, you know what? We can make that true. There's like a little cutscene mid credits as they read the will, and it's Sarah gets everything. All right, well that's Brindlewood Bay. I hope you guys had fun. What did y'all think? Was it a good time? You can be honest if it was.
I enjoyed it. That was so fun.
Yeah,
that was great.
A longer thing so we could figure out what the fuck those three-eyed fish were up to.
So, I wasn't expecting
Yeah.
this. It's always weird for one shots when void clues come in, because they're supposed to be like things you can like seed in and then slowly but surely kind of connect the dots to something bigger. And then by the time you get to your like third or fourth murder mystery, that's when like maybe this is actually something really dark going on, not just a normal one. They've actually got an add-on where they talk about like sweeps weeks mysteries and murders, where it's like more supernatural. Like they're trying to get views, so they break the mold of it. Like, oh, maybe there's a ghost this time. So it's a great opportunity to break those ones in. I mean, I love this game. It's so fun. I'm glad that y'all enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, friends, before we get up on out of here, how about we tell the people who we are and where they can find us? Ryan, let's go ahead and start with you.
Start with me. I'm Ryan. I go by Run DMG Online. I make all sorts of shorts and TikToks and Instagram reels and all that sort of things. I do some charity work. There should be probably some charity work coming up, charity stuff coming up pretty soon, with more Doctors Without Borders things. But yeah, and I don't know if I have any other shows or anything coming up right now, but it was so much fun playing with y'all and being able to do this with y'all. I'm just so chuffed to be here. So thank y'all for playing with me. Oh, I got a popcorn it. Jaden. Popcorn it, Jaden.
Oh hey, it's been me, Jaden King. You can find me on social media at It's Jaden King. I'm a professional storyteller, so I travel the world telling stories to various places. And I also do it on Start Playing Games. So if you want to play games with me, I do all kinds of things. I work with Vampire the Masquerade, D&D, and I've got some amazing stuff coming out this year, including launching my own tabletop role-playing game that is an anime inspired about the idea of oppressed cultures finding their light in a hope punk environment. It's an alternate Earth where culture creates magic and eldritch entities are the oppressors. So let's bring back our music, our art, and our stories in the best way we can. That's me. I do that. Oh, and also I'm working on Sin City by Night, a Vampire the Masquerade supplement that explores Las Vegas, and all the work that's going into that is also meant to help fund supporting the homeless in Las Vegas because it's a problematic situation, and I believe that the best way to survive the dark is to bring light to those who are suffering so we can help them elevate. That's it for me. I'm gonna pop it over to John John.
Hello, I have been John John. You can find me on the Blue Sky at John John John. You can find me on Instagram and Threads at John 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 Johnson. And there's rebranding time. I float around the ttrpg space a little bit here and there. I'm not really attached to any major projects. I float in and out, I guessed. I'm a bit of a butterfly in that way. And it's been a blast. I have been Edie tonight, and thank you for having me, and thank you for your donations. It's been really lovely. I'll popcorn it over to Dylan.
Hello, I'm Dylan H. Ford. I'm a streamer, I'm an artist, I'm a miniature painter, and I also love to do charity streams. I've also not really been an active part of the TTRPG space, but I'm always happy to participate here and play new games and meet new people, so it's always fun. And thanks to everyone who donated to Project Hope tonight. And I'll pass it off to Craig.
Oh, hi, I'm Craig, aka Craig of Inspiration, all over the place. And on Tuesdays, I'm in a Cosmere Stormlight RPG game over on the Another World channel. That's super fun. We're like halfway through season 2. Really fun. If you like Stormlight, check it out. We're having a blast. Otherwise, I'm just helping new players and dungeon masters have more fun. Over to Jess.
All right, gang, that's me. Thank you all so much to those who watched, to those who donated, to everyone on screen. This was such a fun game to play with y'all. This says that we've raised $300, but there's still $100 matching left. So I will leave our Tiltify donation link up until the weekend, because I know sometimes people get paid on Fridays. So if you too would like to donate to Project Hope and all of the good that they are doing in the world, please bookmark the Tiltify URL. I don't have a ton to promote right now. The No Ice in Minnesota charity bundle just recently ended, and that was absolutely fantastic. April 5th, there is going to be a charity one-shot for Trans Lifeline on this channel from noon to 4 PDT. I don't know, with the daylight savings and the daylight hours always changing. I never know, but it's going to be happening from 12 to 4. It's going to be for Trans Lifeline, and it's going to be a reality TV show, The Ratchler, where we all play small woodland creatures, and it's going to be really fun. So if that sounds like your jam, come through on April 5th. With that being said, thanks again for watching. Thanks again for hanging out. Go wash your hands, make friends, don't eat paste, and we'll see you later.